So, technology is the blessing and the curse at the same time. So, technology is the blessing and the curse at the same time. Technology is legit the goat. Welcome everybody. I just took a L from technology. I mean, a real L too. I didn't take what. Oh, look who here! Look who here! Look who here! Look who here! So I'm talking about. Hey, I got Felipe in the building. Simba Singh is in the building, and the man, the myth, the legend, Andy Garcia, fresh out of Hollywood, is in the building. What's good, y'all? What's good? Hey, I got told today that I need to see what I can do with energy. Like, can I bottle some? And I don't know if it's just energy. I think it's excitement, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like energy. Right. Hey, major L last night, all this morning, whatever you want to call it. I took a major L. I'm actually back on the laptop, man. I spent money on all this fancy stuff, and I'm taking advice from all these guys. Yo, look who's in the building. Payback Carter was good. Yo, so the L I took it is because I take advice from all these YouTube contributors that are eating, and they're like, yo, Uncle Freezy, you got you got potential. You need to upgrade your technology though. You need a better camera, you need a better microphone, you need to use all these systems like OBS. And yo, look who in the building. Oh, L is in the building. Oh, I know that ain't who I think it is. AK Sour God is in the building. What's good? Y'all be having me bugging. I be trying to talk to y'all. Y'all just keep showing up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, these YouTubers are like, yo, Uncle Freezy, man, upgrade your mic game, upgrade your blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to do segments and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, yo, as far as the content go, I ain't doing that. That ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a polished guy behind the mic. I'm not like the dude that, is going to be taking key. Oh my God. Look, they keep showing up. Hey, what's good? A nudie 25. I hope I said that right. Hey, look, it's from here though. It's from here. When I mess up, it be from here. You know what I'm saying? When I mess up, it don't be because I don't care. So anyway, cats be like, yo, Uncle Freezy, man, the way you be doing your stuff, man, people love it. And I'm not saying this to y'all just to get, get whatever. I'm just saying what they telling me. They're like, yo, if you do such and such different, man, you might have something. Yo, my thing is, as long as I got y'all, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? As long as I got y'all, I'm straight. And I know that seems petty as hell and maybe childish, but it's like that feeling, like how you probably like just took a standardized test or something when you was in school, like maybe in sixth grade you took like a standardized test or whatever, and you in there they talking about damn number 2 pencils and scrap sheets of paper and all kind of BS, and then you finally get that break where you can go outside and see the homies like out there on the yard, like on the playground, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be talking about. Like how you know what I'm saying, you be done, you know what I'm saying, turned in your thing for the science fair, you done had to do all these notes or whatever, and then lunchtime come and you walking down the hall and you see all the homies down there and you be like wanting to run, but you be trying to be cool at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Where you be like, yo, look at my dog right there. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's that feeling that I be having when I be seeing y'all come through. And you know what I'm saying? And it ain't because I be wanting subscribers, which we probably want to do that in order to grow the channel. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of us getting together and talking that real Knicks talk, right? That real Knicks talk, like some stuff that we care about. You know what I'm saying? Like that be that feeling. So while I am not, you know what I'm saying, I don't have, we don't have like 14,000 subscribers, and we on Discord and all kind of stuff. We got this little thing, man. We do it not. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look who stepped in the building. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. What's good? What's good with you? Hey, Mike, you trolling me? You think Raw Hebrew is my brother? Raw Hebrew ain't my brother, man. Yeah. Hey, look, Chef NYK's in the building. Yo, Raphael is in the building. What's good? What's good? Hey, Raphael, I was gonna send you and Teddy that email, man. And then this I got a computer back here. Well, back here that I've been trying to work some miracles with. You know what I'm saying? But she keep putting me down. You know what I'm saying? I was on there, man. The camera was looking fantastic. You know what I'm saying? And everything. But you know what? The more gadgets you get, the more gadgets you have, bro. That's just what it is. Hey, of course we're gonna take out. Hey, you remember that joint? Baby, we can do it. Take your time, do it right. We can do it, baby. Hey, that's for the old heads in the building. You know what I'm saying? Anybody out there that's like 40 years old, remember, you know what I'm saying, joints used to come on the radio and you used to have to run to your radio with the old 3-pack of TDK tapes and tape your joints. Yo, for sure. And love y'all, man. And it's like it's like a genuine love. This is like something I kind of had to get used to. Like I would be showing up like in chats and stuff, and people would be shouting me out like, "Yo, Uncle Freezy in the building," and I'll be looking like, you know what I'm saying, drinking my tea, like these cats kind of halfway think I'm halfway cool. And then when I reciprocate the love back, bro, I'm telling you, it's like love fest. You know what I'm saying? It's like love fest. So anyway, not to get too mushy and gushy and all that stuff. So I'm working with old technology, so I may have to limit the chat. So y'all bear with me. Maybe we can rotate people in and out or whatever. They just have to understand that I'm going through it, with a joint. So just bear with me. I'm gonna put this in here for my people. Maybe we can rock with the usual crew tonight, and then maybe by the time we get back on, I have some stuff figured out, right? Yo, so I want to get started, man, on a couple things, and I know y'all want to too. So, what is the deal with the Knicks re-signing Elfrid Payton? What's the deal with that? I'm asking y'all, man. What's the deal with us re-signing Elfrid Payton? Oh, look who tiptoed in the room. Nick Storian 75 tiptoeing in the room. I see you. You can't sneak in here. I see you. Nick Storian 75 tiptoeing around the edge of the room. Hey, we see you. Hey, so what's the deal with us legit re-signing Elfrid Payton? Nick Storian, I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. Aside from the L that I took from technology about 2 hours ago, I mean, yeah, I'm good. Yo, I put that link in the chat because I think the homies want to come through. I don't know. Look at Jamel Courts in the building. Who is Christian Montgomery? Is Christian Montgomery new? Hey, Christian Montgomery, if you new, type new in the chat. Stephen Fox tiptoed. What's up, Stephen Fox? Was good. Yeah, hey, bro, hey. So let me do this real quick, man. Shout out to my man. Shout out to the homie, Legion of Knicks podcast. Right, I gotta make sure I shout him out every time, man. Y'all gotta know who this young brother is, man. This cat be grinding, man. Grinding. I'm talking about like, a second full-time job. Hey, RL, I see you. Let me do this real quick. Hey, yo, Hector Beauchamp in the building. Hey, I see you. This Hector, this is maybe what, the second or third time? So I owe you something. Hector. Yo! Hector Beauchamp is in the building. What's good? This is the second time? Hey, well, I might have been a little bit premature. This is the second time? You got one early. Usually I try to do it like on 3 or 4 times. Pardon me for not remembering everything. But I do kind of see some names, man, that be new, and I see them 2 or 3 more times, and I be wanting to shout them out. What's good? Of course, this thing is about respect, though. This thing is about respect. It's about respect, man. That's what we do. It's love and respect here. It's love and respect here. You know what I'm saying? Mostly love. Sometimes we get a little bit disrespectful, but we still recognize we love. You know what I'm saying? It's like a not a love fest, but you know what I mean. Yo, look who in the building. Obi-Wan K for life is in the building. What's good? Had the hard questions on me the other day, grilling me on national TV. That was dope, though, having me step my game up. I appreciate you. And because you know what, though? Because we understand. Because you know what? When I see stuff like that, I realize that not only are people passionate, but they smart, too. So we're not just like dumb Knicks fans just kicking a can down the road. You know what I'm saying? We actually understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, salute. And back to the Legion of Knicks podcast. Yo, man, make sure y'all subscribe to his channel and share and everything. That brother is super sharp. You know what I'm saying? He's a grinder, yo. He a grinder. Like with me, I'm just coming out here to have fun. That brother is coming out doing something. You know what I'm saying? My man is legit trying to build something over there. And I'm gonna shout out like my NBK fam. And listen, you remember how back in the day when you used to call in for the secret answer at the radio station, and you mess around and be like, they'd be like, we looking for the 8th caller, and then you'd be like, caller number 6, and then they'd be like, yo, you want to shout somebody out before you get off? Yo, I want to shout out Nickish, Nothing But Knicks, Chef Zay, Andy, Raw Hebrew Remnant. Welcome to the NBK fam. Nothing But Knicks, Legion of Knicks podcast. Die Hard Knicks podcast. Nickish. Did I say Die Hard? Yeah, Die Hard. Man, Die Hard is grinding, man. Die Hard is grinding. I need to get him on here. I need to get him on here so we can show him some love because he be grinding, bro. So shout out to everybody that's in the NBK fam. We trying to do big things. It's not about us. It's about everybody. We trying to bring this Knicks stuff to y'all for real. So back to what I was gonna say about what we doing is crazy to try to figure out what it is that we doing. Like, why would we re-sign Elfrid Payton? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. So we re-signed Elfrid Payton. We cut most of the player options and whatever. Yo, the other Freezy just walked in the building. Hey, what's up, Junior? What's up, Pops? You on live? Yeah, I'm on live with our people. It's like 28 people on here.
What's up, people? What's up with
it? Yo, this cat is trying to start his empire too. J Deals Direct was good. So let me ask y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? Re-signing Alfred Payton. Now, if we have a clear plan, hey, let's rock with it. But if we don't have a plan, why are we just spinning our wheels? Are we just spinning wheels just to spin wheels? Is that what we're doing? So we also signed Nerlens Noel. You know what I'm saying? We signed Nerlens Noel, and I like Nerlens Noel. I think it was an excellent signing. Hey, so young Freezy is trying to teach me about this thing called swagger. I think he said some swag or something. He's trying to teach me about. Trying to be drippy. I think that's what I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Trying to teach the old man something. Hey, listen. I can vouch for an old ass dog learning new tricks. That's what I am. I can learn a little something. Yo, look who in the building. Messiah Mack was good. Yo, that's funny. Messiah Mack was like, yo, Alfred Payton walked back through that door. Alfred Payton was like, yo, y'all not stopping me from walking back through that door. Alfred Payton is back. Alfred Payton is like the McRib. The McRib is back, and so is Alfred Payton. Yo, and the Nerlens Noel thing, I think that's a very, very slept on signing. I think that's an excellent signing, in my opinion. The fact that my man has played in limited roles for the past 4 seasons, like he legit understands what it is that he brings to the league, and he thrives in that role. You know what I'm saying? High level, energetic, big off the bench. May not be the best defender, but the energy that he brings to the floor is crazy. Before tearing his ACL, was probably the best athlete in his draft over Andrew Wiggins and the big guy from the Sixers, Joel Embiid. But I think that he is still bouncy now. Don't get it twisted. My man is bouncy, but he is probably not as bouncy as he used to be. But with that said, I think he brings a lot to a team. J. Deal said, I was hoping we wouldn't start to build a team by getting 2 free agents to fill voids, rock with us for the next 4 years. But yeah. It's one of those things where we was trying to figure it out, man. You know, we were trying to figure it out last night. Yeah. What were we looking to do? Like, what direction were we going in? We didn't have a clear direction, nothing established. Then when they brought Alfred Payton back, it just made me, double down on my sentiment from last night. Like, legit, what are we doing? Hey, what's up? What's good, God of Moses and Elijah? What's happening?
What's going on, man? I want to let you finish. I'm going to let you, continue on. I want to listen to you, please.
Hey, man. So I'm pitter-paddling around, man, trying to figure out what the Knicks are doing. You know what I mean? And so the reason why is because smart fans, and I like to consider myself one, and not smart out of intellect, but smart out of experience. Right. In this case, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I like to consider myself a smart fan because we've been through a lot of this stuff before. Right. And the end result after about 2.5 years is legit. What's the front office doing? How come they're bringing in such and such? That contract was a bad signing and blah, blah, blah. So
what do you think about the signings today?
I think they were polarizing. I think one, I was genuinely excited about and was hoping that they would do, and the other, I was generally negative on and hoping that they wouldn't do, and both happened. So Nerlens Noel, I was hoping that we could legit, get a bouncy big off the bench to complement our bouncy big that starts, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you look at prototype or archetype or player type or whatever, Nerlens Noel and Mitch may be similar, right? Yeah. But then you didn't want to necessarily compliment Mitch with a guy that was a complete opposite.
I just want to say to that, I agree with you with that Nerlens Noel contract signing. Great signing. The only thing I wished, right? And I might be on my own with this. I kind of wish we would have had Chris Paul throwing him alley oops and had Chris Paul be the point guard, because last year Chris Paul and Nerlens Noel had great results last year, and Nerlens Noel was phenomenal for OKC Thunder last year. Like he was looking phenomenal for the OKC Thunder. So when I saw Nerlens Noel, I'm like, wow, the great signing. But
right.
so I like that signing. I don't want to take all the time. What do you think about the signings?
Talking about Jay Directs?
Yeah, Jay Direct.
Yeah. I'm with you. Like Nerlens Noel, good move. He's on the cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, we don't know, how he's going to handle, staying out of foul trouble. So that was a good pickup. I'm a big fan of Alec Burks.
Me too.
I'm a big fan of Alec Burks. I think he's he's official business. He's a savvy vet.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's high IQ on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets buckets, yo.
Mm-hmm. And Golden State, he did good for Golden State. That was rebuilding last year.
He got buckets in Golden State.
Yo,
whether off the bench or starting, I think he's good money, man.
I heard Golden State fans tell me on Twitter or Facebook, telling me, "Damn, he could have been. I wish we would have resigned him because he was a good second string for us." So I agree, man. That is a really underrated signing for the
very
Knicks.
underrated. Very underrated. He's a vet. My only question is, where do we go from here? What is the goal? What's the objective? Like, are we gonna let the young kids rock out? Which I doubt, because Tibbs wants to win now. But I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do need to find. We got, if you look like Mitch, RJ, Obi, quickly, and another young. We need to find a diamond in the rough. And the only way that's gonna happen is if we give these cats minutes. We can't play vets over them, in terms of minutes. Like, they got to get minutes. We need to find a diamond in the rough, man.
Here's my thing. Yesterday, I don't know. I think you was here yesterday.
Yeah. I
kept arguing with everybody that we should keep Randle, and Randle should be coming off the bench. I feel Nerlens Noel was riding the bench. He was coming off the bench for the OKC Thunder. I feel stronger with my argument that both Nerlens Noel and Julius Randle and possibly Kevin Knox and Emmanuel Quickly, I like all four of them coming off the bench and having all the other guys start while you have this Kentucky crew coming off the bench. And I feel like that makes Knox comfortable coming off the bench, which he should. And that makes Julius Randle coming off the bench. And I feel like now Julius Randle, if we keep him, because if we trade him for other talent, okay, that's understandable for somebody who's going to produce, because we need.
Right.
I'm not with the whole, let's get somebody who can fit and is going to play defense and give us 5 points. I don't care. Just get him off the roster. I don't like that stuff. I need production. We need talent and we need production. So
I rock with you on that. I would just say if we do trade Julius Randle, I want to trade him. Right, I want to trade him for Alonzo Ball. We need a point guard.
Well, I like right now. I like this Kentucky bench. That's what I call it. I like the Kentucky bench because they all know each other. They play from the same college. You have Kenny Wayne there. Also, Julius Randle. We will be doing something for Julius Randle's career, which he does have a lot of learning to do. Does he have talent? Does he still have upside? Absolutely. But he does need, he needs quality versus quantity right now. He needs to be, we know he's an 18, 8, and 3. What he needs to do is get better at doing it, and also being more court awareness. And there's other tangibles that he needs to improve. And with Tibbs there, with his coaching, and just like Spoelstra he has Spoelstra coaching Jimmy Butler, and he's able to keep that guy in line, and he's able to take him far. Jimmy Butler is also a Coach Tibbs guy too, so I feel that Tibbs is gonna keep Julius Randle in check, and there's more people know much more about what happened with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett and not passing the ball and this Alfred Payton. I don't know how big all that was. I don't know how but long story short, if there's somebody who's gonna make that, I feel like Julius Randle is gonna be like, okay, this guy I respect and this guy I need to listen to, and there are things about my game that I need to fix because I know who I am. I'm a walking 20. I'm a walking 20 and 10 eventually, and I can help this Knicks because it's not easy. I want to keep this in context. It's not easy to be in a rebuilding team.
Dude. Well, let's add on to that. If you're Julius Randle and you got a rookie that's coming in who takes your spot, then you got to go to the bench.
Yeah, I think Tibbs can coach that part. I don't even think that's the harder part. I think the harder part is finally getting a coach that Julius can, that somebody that
can keep him in line. That he respects.
Like Jimmy Butler is a great player, but he was a great player with Tibbs. Now Jimmy Butler is a great player that also plays well with Spoelstra. So that makes him a great player now. All in all, you have to respect this game because before he was just a Tibbs guy. Now he's like, wait a minute, this guy plays well with the Heat. Look how far he took him.
Ruff, I'm gonna tell you like this. I agree with you about the Jimmy.
Let me do something real quick, deals. Hey, so my man is in the building. Knicks for life is in the building. What's good? And guess who snuck in the door, tiptoeing around the back? Mm-hmm. It's our brother Woodshed. Wood was good. What's good with you? He coming here straight in the door talking about trade Randle for Buddy.
I don't mind that. If that's not a bad look.
That's my point. Yeah. We keep him until we can trade him for somebody that can give us good value.
If I'm Sacramento, I'm keeping. They just got rid of Bogdan, so if I'm Sacramento, I gotta hold on to Buddy to dear life. Buddy Hield is no joke. I would. There are days I would hold on to Buddy Hield more than I hold on to Darren Fox.
I think that relationship is fractured between him and the coach.
Well, that other coach wasn't that great with Lonzo Ball either. So that other coach is not that great. Luke Walton?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. I'm not taking Luke Walton's side over Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is a proven player.
But what I'm saying is him and Buddy Hield, that relationship is done. Fried eggs, they're done. Buddy wants nothing to do with him.
All right. Well, I don't know. We'll play that by ear. But I want to listen to your point about Randle and what we should do with Randle. Can it make sense to have Randle in the bench? And first of all, look, Randle's career, I think this year, Randle's career is, I don't want to say something. Look, his track record, Randle's track record of awareness on the floor has long been preceded. It's been following him through the career that he does this, he does that, he does this, and he does that. Right now is the perfect time to get a lot of those things right. So for me, if I have an opportunity, I would be like, Coach, I want to stay here. I want to stay here. That would be my approach, especially if I have a Nerlens Noel, Kevin Knox, and Emmanuel Quickly, and Kenny Payne. That would be my approach. But listen, if I'm Julius Randle, I'll come off the bench. I know you signed a great player in Obi Toppin. I would come off the bench. I want to be with this group. I believe in this team. That would be my approach if I'm Julius Randle.
Hey, shout out to Philly Insider Podcast. What's good? It's a Sixers fan. Hey, shout out to Philly. So I think we up to what others visiting. So we had a Lakers fan, Memphis fan, 2 Toronto fans, a Philly fan, and I think it was one other. I can't remember one other fan base. As long as it's not Brooklyn, I think we straight.
Right, no doubt.
And so Raphael, can you tell everybody to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button?
To my channel, to your channel,
to both.
Oh yes, shout out to Blood Orange Tears. Please like, comment, subscribe. I also got my own channel building slowly but surely. God of Moses and Elijah. Please check me out, and I look forward to hearing from y'all. And thank you, Freezy, for giving me a chance to promote my channel.
Hey, that's what we doing, bro. We trying to, So me and Ghana Moses and Elijah have been in a lot of chats together, just like some of y'all. And I used to see him just like grinding in chats. He always showing up in the same places I'm showing up. You know what I'm saying? And so one day I was like, "Yo, you want to jump in?" Hey, sure, come on.
Yeah, he gave me a chance. Yeah, it was podcast.
Yeah, and so it's the same. It's the same love, man. It's like it's the same love we show everybody. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Unless you get on here and try to troll. Like Joe Curry was trying to troll us yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But I think we like Joe. I think Joe might have got it caught up in a moment or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Joe Curry.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, they, like Raphael trying to eat and grow his things, and it's about that Knicks NBA content. So we appreciate the fact that he in here. You know what I'm saying? But Philly Inside Podcast, maybe hit me up on your socials, man. If y'all want y'all want to do some kind of joint thing, or whatever, maybe come on or whatever. Right. We play just as hard on the road. We play hard at home and on the road. You know what I'm saying? So but anyways, let me get back to what J Deals was saying. JD, I shot you I cut you off, man, and my bad. I just want to.
I want to hear what you think. If I'm like I said, if I'm Randle right now, I would one of the first things I would say is I want to be here. I'll be willing to come off the bench. I want to learn what I need to fix in my game. I have holes I need to fix. I want to win a championship one day in my career. What are my areas that I need to work on? And also, you're always looking for that bigger contract. So you can't get a bigger contract if you still have the same problems. So those, I think the Knicks with Kenny Payne and Tibbs, if he grinds it out, if he rides the bench, he can have at least a year or two, or just this year or whatever. I think it'll be a great idea for his career. And I like that we are developing a situation that we can help your career, Julius Randle, if you come off the bench. And hopefully this might be a new concept where we can have other players from free agency that can be talented, come off the bench, and we help their career and have a better career. Exactly. Like Nerlens Noel and shout out. So I think him coming off the bench, he could help his career as well as even Nerlens Noel with Kenny Payne too.
He's not coming off the bench. So check this. I'm telling you, that ego is it's too much for him. He's going from a number one option for the Knicks. He's getting paid. He has the biggest salary, right? And then so you got this rookie, this our first round pick coming in and take his spot. Yeah, coming to take his spot. That's gonna be a problem for him, yo. That's gonna be a problem.
Right. The thing about Julius Randle, first and foremost, it would be smarter if Obi Toppin's your long-term project. You probably want Julius Randle starting one. It'll appease him because he knows, hey, I'm a mercenary. I got a team option on my contract, but I'm trying to, go to the next best situation. So look, play me. I'll play to my strengths. I'll probably pass more at the double team, so I'm not a nuisance to the team. And they'd be like, hey, we're going to do that. Try to trade you before the trading deadline, because also he's an expiring contract, or without the option, right? So that's value to some teams. There's just no way he's coming off the bench to so-called improve his career. He's a guy that, even though his efficiency and his gameplay, I don't like it necessarily, he's still relatively productive. So I think that's what he's looked at his whole career. He's never, not to say he's ever had great coaching, but he's one of those guys that he is what he is. And I don't think I'm going to believe in his coaching staff to make me better when I am basically a mercenary. And that's why I hated the Alfred signing, because it's not that, you don't need depth or whatever, but you don't bring in a guy who, let's be honest, him and Randle froze out RJ many times last year. It's not to say RJ is a superstar, but when you're talking about developing a player, you have to give them looks, right? And RJ is not, he's not frank, he's not Knox, he's aggressive, and he will be aggressive. And we need to see what is in RJ, right? And you have two guys who played prominent minutes last year who threw us off of seeing what our developments are, right? So when people talk about Frank and Knox, well, if you're playing with a guy who Peyton passed to Randle, 26% of his passes went to Randle, and the next closest was, I think, RJ at 13%. That huge disparity shows that he obviously favors another mercenary. And when you're in a locker room of mercenaries, they're not going to be looking at the young kid like, yeah, we're going to sit here and develop you. They're like, man, I'm trying to get mine. F you. Look what happened when LeBron James got drafted. Go look up the video right as he got drafted. You saw guys like Darius Miles and all these other vets like, oh, you got to come in. Which I agree with. LeBron James has to come and show and prove. But that attitude of we're jealous of this new kid coming in, like he's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to be taking my job. F that. I'm not letting him do that. So Julius Randle, start the guy, trade him by the trade deadline. Elfrid Payton, I agree with you on this. Elfrid Payton should not be getting heavy minutes. We should have signed Rondo. Now, if I doubt the Wolves would do this because they need a point guard, I wish we could have gotten Rubio before you left. Try to get a guy like Lonzo. But you need to trade or you need to bring in a proper point guard that's not Elfrid Payton because we're talking about seeing how good some of these guys are. We have needed a point guard to be able to get it to them, whether that's dribble, kick out, whether that's set up the offense to get the pick and roll going, get guys in proper position, whether it's I drive to my left and then or I drive in the middle or I'm at the middle of the court or the top of the key and the guards flare out. We need guys who understand basketball on a higher level versus, oh, I'm a point guard in name and I'm just going to drive to the basket like Elfrid Payton and who can't shoot, who can't space out. So.
Right. But Ralph, I do agree with you. Like, if he was to be here, ideally, I would want him to come off the bench. Reason being, we need to, like G was just saying, we need to have RJ develop. And with Randle on the court, my fear is he's going to maintain that I'm the number one option crap. We cannot, as a starter. I agree with you. We can't afford that.
I agree with you. I'm 100%. Look, I'm 100% with everybody on that. He should be coming off the bench. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% with everybody on that. But everybody has their doubt, and I have mine, and I actually believe that it can happen. I still think that it can happen, and that's why I think Tibbs can make that happen. That's just call me gullible in that situation. I think Tibbs.
I don't see where Tibbs is going to favor.
And Leon Rose can reach and his agent can say, hey, listen, it'll be a wise move. I think they can reach him and say, listen, it'll be good for your career if you do this.
Hey, look,
Tibbs is a heavy veteran.
Can you see who just jumped in the chat? Can you see the chat? Y'all turn your volume down. I'm sorry. I can't help myself, man. Alan Wise is in the building. What's good? Okay, couldn't help it though. My bad. My bad, big dog. And I know you like, why is this dude shouting my name out through this TV or through this phone? My bad, man.
Yeah, but
where do we go from here? We got 20 million plus. Where do we go from here? What do we do?
Let me answer that question. You made a point that I gotta. You said that Tibbs favors
veterans over rookies.
Veterans, right? Yeah. But at the same time, Leon Rose also drafted Obi Toppin. You got to start Toppin. You can't start Randle, okay? Just because I think, again, I'm pro Randle. I think he's a smart person, and if you're a smart person, you'll come off the bench and you'll take your role, which is what a lot of people like Guillermo was saying yesterday. You gotta. I mean, it was him. I mean, it's a group of people. So sometimes I'm misinterpreting things in my mind, but a lot of people, he got to play his role. Right now, the best role for him is coming off the bench. If he wants to, that's the best role.
Hey, man, you keep saying that, right? We keep talking about that, but Julius Randle is not coming off the bench.
Thank you.
He didn't sign here.
All right, let's see. Let's see.
And then wait. When you sign a premium free agent like we did in 2019, and that was our premium free agent, right? You send the message to other players around the league that the Knicks will sign you for a certain role, and when you get here and get locked up, they'll change it. And now you stuck in a role that you're not satisfied with. And that's not the message that you want to send around the league to potential free agents.
Look,
you got to massage. You got to massage.
Then you have to make a move. Then you have to make a move.
And wait, I'll let you have your say. I'll let you have your say, and I'll listen.
Carry on. I thought you finished. Sorry.
You sign Giannis to come here and play the 4, right? And then you realize he'd be better. Your coaching staff say, "Hey, no, we want to move him to center because he'll be the most athletic center in Knicks history, right?" But he don't want to do that, right? You can't change horses midstream. The best thing to do is trade Julius to a place where he can thrive. Just trade him. If because at eight you could have legit traded back, say to 11, and drafted Devin Vassell, got another young player in draft pick, and you would have this issue, right?
I want to answer that. I want to answer
I'm
that.
not which I wasn't an Obi fan at the beginning. Y'all knew I wanted either Vassell, Okongwu, or Neesmith at 8.
I want to answer that real quick.
I wanted, but at the same time, the Knicks drafted who they drafted. Right now, we just have a glut at power forward. You know what I'm saying? That they knew that going in. They knew if we draft Obi, what do we do with Julius? Right? So they knew that going in. So now you have the issue. We have to look at legit trading Randle because for chemistry issues were terrible last year. When we legit watched Elfrid Payton look RJ Barrett dead in the pupils and would not pass him the ball. We saw that. It's documented, it's tape on it, right? And the same thing with the Randle crew. When you sign those second tier veterans that have, say, 4 or 5 years in the league, they don't want to be bench players for young dudes and rookies. Because they feel like they are better than them. So to the point that you were making about Julius Randle coming off the bench, that's a no-go. That's a non-starter from the giddy up, just because of the situation. If the situation would have been different, if he was a guy that had been struggling here, we gave him one chance to start, he failed, then we can send him to the bench. But to sign your high-priced free agent from last year to the bench just because you drafted a rookie at the same spot this year makes it look as if your front office is not smart.
Can I say something? Yes. What about that Gordon Hayward? Remember Gordon Hayward when he was in Boston? Gordon Hayward, was he starting all the time? Because I know eventually, as soon as Jaylen Brown started stepping his game up, that's it. Gordon Hayward went to the bench. So after
he got hurt too, twice.
He got hurt. Right, but who was the star? Eventually, Gordon Hayward became off the bench, right? Or am I wrong?
After injury, yeah.
But the circumstances are different. For one, Gordon Hayward got a season-ending injury, right? And we knew he wasn't going to be 100% when he came back. So it's not the same thing like sending Gordon Hayward to the bench. You know what I'm saying?
That's the ideal. That's the ideal goal. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, that was it. It was a quick. I just wanted to say something real fast.
Oh, we're not. Randall's not. He's going to start.
Right.
He did. I'm just disgusted by this whole UK CAA thing, man. I have a sick feeling in my stomach. People might say, again, and I'm not. I've been against tanking even when Fizzo was here. When people were like, "Oh, we're going to get Zion," I said, you don't do that, man. Do not tank in the NBA. You find what you have with your players. They might surprise you. If it's something that you don't think is going to be long-term, you trade those guys for more assets. Then you say trade up or whatever, but you don't tank. Establish your foundation so you're attracted to free agents. So you know what you're doing. You know what you want. This is why a team like the Spurs can draft a Vassell or Vassell, even though you can argue, oh, they're BPA, other guys are blah, blah. They're drafting guys because Pop has a vision for that team. He's had a vision for that team since the 90s, right? What everybody that saw Vassell get drafted, they know exactly how he's going to be used, right? I have friends who hitting me up like, damn, man, that's your boy. And you know what's going to happen to Vassell. You know what's going to happen to the Knicks. This is the thing with the Knicks. When you have to draft BPA every year, that means you don't have a blueprint. That means that you don't have a foundation as to what you need. Because yes, you can draft a BPA. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Obviously, it does. But every year, even you're drafting at 3 BPA, you're drafting at 10 BPA, you're drafting at whatever. We've always been in the freaking teams or the lottery. Every year in the lottery, and every year we're drafting BPA, and every year we're failing. Right?
What's a BPA?
We have to have a damn foundation.
Best player available.
Tank. We don't know for like this. We could tank next year. We don't even know how Cade's going to be. We don't know how Monty. We're hyping up all these high school kids.
It's a crapshoot. Yeah,
it's a crapshoot. Again, freaking Jabari Parker was the best player in the nation. Andrew Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins was the best player, and then Jabari Parker was like right behind him. And they both. Andrew Wiggins is probably lasted obviously longer, and Jabari Parker injuries. But even then, Jabari Parker is just basically faded away. Right, this guy's been relatively healthy, still faded away. Andrew Wiggins is looking like a bust relative to where he was drafted. This guy's still averaging what 20 points. So we can't do the whole bust thing, man. You find what you got in Julius Randle and try to trade him off. I hate this point guard position or what we're doing at point guard. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, even if you just bring in new blood to compete with these guys, when you allow these guys to basically and think about this, you got Frank, who's basically free agent after this year, Elfrid Payton on a 1-year deal, and then DSJ. I don't know. I believe this is DSJ's last year too. Yeah, it is because it was the same year as Frank, right?
Yeah.
So you have 3 guys who literally there's no future. Maybe possibly behind any 3 of them, and the guy Miles Powell, who's more of a scoring guard versus a prototypical point guard. Like what are the Knicks doing?
So G, what would you do as you're Leon Rose? What would you do from this point forward?
Lonzo, man. I'm trading for Lonzo. I'm trading for Lonzo.
Okay, so you trading obviously Julius Randle plus whoever else for Lonzo.
Lonzo only makes what?
Lonzo makes 11 this year.
Makes 11.
I think he'll get 14 next year, something like that, 14, 16, something like that next year.
We got cap space. We can use that cap space. We can just send somebody DSJ and a pick if you're gonna do it.
Why not just send them Julius? You think they won't want to take on the contract, or what do you think?
No,
they're expiring.
They like to walk.
The only thing is that does Lonzo fit a Stan Van Gundy point guard? I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. I remember and they got Bledsoe, and they got Kira, and they got who else they got? They got somebody else.
Right. And that's the thing about it. It's like this is a weird thing with Kira. Is like I think that Kira might do good where you probably ease him in. It's not saying you play him heavy, but he could easily be one of these guys that he fades away into being traded here and there because teams just don't give him the time of day, right? With the Pelicans, they do have some talent, right? Ingram, Zion, still have even Josh Hart. Did they trade Josh Hart? They still have Josh. I think they still have Josh Hart.
They still have him and Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Frank Jenks is all right. He ain't nothing. But I mean, obviously, they have all these guards, right? And Stan Van Gundy usually has a prototype that he likes with regards to his team, the players on his team. I just trying to remember some point guards that he's had that he's really stuck by to, and I don't remember. I don't think Alonzo is that type. Lonzo's more like a fast break, pacey type of point guard, facilitate from the top of the perimeter because he's not like a penetrator like that. But he's obviously can shoot the 3 now. But I think for this Knicks team, I think he'd be perfect. So I wouldn't mind sending him one of those, like one of the 2023 first rounders.
There we go. You got to do it.
This is absurd, bro. The point guard. If we had a playmaker at the 2 guard, we had a Jimmy Butler, you could get away with what we have in this team. But we don't have playmakers on the ball, like on the ball playmaker who can make everybody else better, just naturally from a facilitation standpoint. We just don't have that. So I got to trade for him. I think the Wolves are going to stick to Rubio. This is the thing about it. We had a chance to go after these guys, right? OKC made that trade. Rubio was available. They were not going to keep a guy like Rubio, and we didn't go after him.
I wanted Rubio too.
We could have got Oubre too. They were talking about Oubre. Like,
give him a pick. Give him a pick for Oubre. I mean, we got
Oubre. Oubre's with the Warriors now. He's
I mean, before he went to the Warriors, they were offering him for a pick.
Bro, like deals. I just want to say this. If for Julius Randle, if I'm gonna trade him, I'll trade him for Buddy Hield, and if I make the move for Lonzo Ball, I would trade like DSJ and the 2023 pick.
That's smart.
Let's stop right here. Let's stop right here because I want to ask y'all something, right? So Sunday night we came on. So it's been 7 full days that we coming on and we grinding, getting it, and we went through hypotheticals and scenarios, right? So Sunday night I said the first thing I'd like the Knicks to do is establish a direction. Don't have your fans guessing, right? Like I'll give you an example. Wednesday we find Klay Thompson has a torn Achilles, right? The owner goes out and trades for Kelly Oubre, right? And people will say, well, Kelly Oubre, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they might be going for it. Nah, there is no doubt they're going for it because just by taking on Oubre's contract, they went over the salary cap by $86 million. So their tax bill is going to be $86 million with Klay Thompson out for the year, right? They could have packed it in and said, we're not going for it. But as a show to fans that they are going to go for it and not waste Steph Curry's prime, they legit took on a dude making $18 million, but their final bill will be $86 million just because they went over the tax apron to get a guy, right? That's a show to the fans, like we're legit going to go for it. But what have the Knicks done? The Knicks re-signed Elfrid Payton. The Knicks legit, they knew they had point guard issues, so they were like, you know what? We know we have point guard issues, so we're not going to draft a guy. We're not going to draft a guy in the draft and see if we can groom him to be the heir apparent. We're just going to skip it and legit bring in Elfrid Payton. So now the same point guard you had on a disastrous offense, you're bringing them back with a new coach and new front office.
Because you know why, Freezy? That's what happens when your front office doesn't have a plan, bro.
That's what it goes back to, yeah.
That's crazy. It. You just don't have a plan.
It's crazy, yo.
They went in really thinking they were going to go after Fred VanVleet. Now, people say, oh, it may have been posturing to, help Fred VanVleet with the Asian and stuff. No. They went in thinking they were going to get Fred VanVleet, and it flopped in their face. Like, I'm just so confused as to how, for a guy who's an agent in Leon Rose, right? You're supposed to be a guy that can read the market to a T because you helped create the market. Sorry about that. You helped create the market, right? And I'm just thinking in my head, in what world did you think waiting till after the draft to make these moves, right? Because a lot of these teams that are making these moves, they had these plans well in place. They probably talking to agents, the back channels, all that stuff. That's why it just happened. A lot of deals happen like that, right? Deals don't just happen like that. Hey, I'm interested in Bogdanovic. Hey, what are you doing? It's like, nah, they have these things in place. Right. Knicks don't have anything in place. We're picking up scrap heaps like Noel, right? Yes, we signed him, right? But that should have been, if we really had a pen in place, that probably would have been done the first day. Because
it's only $5 million, right? Quick, right?
We just
but I think that says something though. His contract to me says something though. Only $5 million. I feel like they're gonna go for a big contract or something. I don't know
why. Why are they going for a big contract?
I mean, it goes back to G's what he just said though. Guillermo just said it. If you have a plan, you can sign him at the beginning. That doesn't impact. Like, if you have a plan, he's a part of the plan. $5 million. We still got our prospect. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a last minute. Oh, we better get this.
Everybody's coming off the market.
Right.
Yo, this Knicks team, this is crazy, bro. Like, I knew something was up when they drafted quickly. Again, I don't mind quickly at all. I like team. But where they drafted, I say, hold up. They give this dude guaranteed money. Is this the mafia? Like, dogs, he is the second rounder who probably could have been undrafted. That's another thing. And you literally doing this just so you give him guaranteed money. It's like dogs. Like,
but to your point though, I think that showed they had a plan with the draft because they had, when they had quickly, they still had the 33rd. They just discarded the 33rd, gave it to Minnesota. Like they went, I'm telling you, they went after Maxey. That was gone. They traded down. They got quickly. It was a UK connection. But they targeted two guys, OB and quickly.
And hold on. You just said it, the UK connection. You signed Nerlens Noel to that contract, but you drafted Daniel Turo, who's cheaper and probably projecting to be better.
Less, injury.
Great depth behind Mitchell Robinson, a kid who could also, even though it's only like one per game, but shot like 38% from three. Right, so at least he has something in him where he wants to shoot. So you're literally sitting here and tell me this: a guy went to Minnesota, was a star player, can shoot a little bit, can rebound, can score. Right, as a big man, can do what Mitch Robinson is doing. Mitch Robinson has a contract in 2 years, coming up in 2 years. He signed to what? Rich Paul. You're not sure if you want to pay this guy 60 to 70 million, even 67 million. You're not even sure, right? He's only playing 22 minutes a night. I think he's 9-7 or whatever the hell he is, right? But you draft a guy in Daniel Turner, gonna let that go. But you bring in a guy Nerlens Noel, right? To basically do what Mitch does and be lesser than Daniel Turo, who you like. This is this UK crap is it's sickening.
What's the coach's name from UK? What's his name again? What's the coach's name?
Daniel Turo from Minnesota.
No, the head coach from Kentucky. I forgot his name.
Oh,
You know what was interesting?
Real quick. Yo, shout out to Amani the Great for saying, Freezy, I think New York had 9 months to get ready for this free agency, and they got caught sleeping. It's a crying shame that New York had $41 million with no leadership. And also going on to say, everyone in Minnesota thought Malik Beasley was gone to New York because the newspaper, he went out in Minnesota and they stood by him through the trial, and Beasley re-signed New York. See, exactly. The gist of it. First of all, shout out to Amani the Great. I can't give you the big boy shout out yet because they take I got to see you 3 or 4 shows first. But hey, shout out to somebody putting something smart in the chat. Shout out to D Chan. What's good? I see you, D Chan in the building. And so it's so many. I didn't mean to cut my man Guillermo off, but listen, there's so many smart things going on in the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? That even the ones that counter my argument for the front office are at least super smart takes. And that's what we want to bring to the show. But my thing is like what Guillermo was saying. How come the Knicks front office doesn't know this though?
No, they know. Freezy, bro. They know, man. We're Mets fans, right? You saw what happened with Brody Van Wagen, right? Wagen, whatever his name is, right? You get these agents who are not really. Now, it's only happened in 2 places where it's worked, right? I believe in Golden State and I can't remember the other place where GM turned agent turned GM, right? But for the most part, these guys come in, man. I'm not saying they don't have a plan, but the plan is just not. It's not fundamental where you're hoping these big free agents come and save the day. You know what I mean? That's why I got maybe we got hoodwinked. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna kill them yet. Where look, you brought in Thibodeau, you bring in Woods, you bring all these guys. Okay, so give them the players. Give them the players now, even on the week. Year. Give them the. I'm not saying you go out and overspend. I don't want these guys to overspend, but they're fundamental, legit holes on this team. The point guard position is a hole. Power forward position is not a hole, right? And I know we drafted Obi. So it's not. Even though we have to see what we have, we may not have the best power forwards, but it's not a place where it's you can live with the production. You could shape it around. Obviously, play Randle here, play Obi here to space out the floor in certain sets and stuff like that with the second unit. But point guard position is a hole, right? And that is the most important position. When we look at so many other guys, when you talk about Knox, you talk about all these other young players that we have to see what they have. You need a proper point guard. And when I'm talking about Alfred Payton, who's going to look up RJ. I'm talking about a point guard who's going to say, hey, RJ's open on a fast break. Randle is running too, but he has a man on him. There's a guy in front of me on a 3-and-2, but RJ's open in the corner. Even if he misses a shot, right? Let's see him take the shot because we need to get him more acclimated to it. We do not have a point guard. This was not we didn't draft the point guard. You could have drafted Terrell Terry. Even if you don't like the kid, just draft talent to go against these other players. Because if you're talking about seeing how good Frank and DSJ are, they need outside competition to come and threaten their space, to threaten their spot. And let's see if they rise above the fray. Now, if they rise above the fray, now thank God. But if they don't, obviously you have something better than Terrell Terry. And if Terrell Terry's not that good, you move on from him.
How did you feel when you saw Malachi Flynn go to Toronto at 30?
I wasn't that hurt. I'm not the biggest fan of Malachi Flynn. I wasn't the biggest.
I'm gonna just say this so you can continue your point. When I saw Malachi Flynn go to Toronto at 30, I was like, you know what? That's a smart front office backfilling their position because Malachi Flynn is the same archetype as Fred VanVleet. So if they lose Fred VanVleet, they can at least put a guy in there to hold it down until he was ready. The same guy as Fred VanVleet. So they backfilled the position, whether they won or lost on Fred VanVleet, they backfilled it. Now you have Fred VanVleet and Malachi Flynn ready. Malachi Flynn to be ready when Kyle Lowry leaves. You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks, I got a question. The Knicks needed a point guard, and they drafted a big. They drafted 2 bigs. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I need to cut you off. I just wanted to get your opinion.
Would you have been happy with Halliburton? Would you have been happy with Halliburton?
Wait, ain't that crazy though? The Kings drafted Halliburton. The Kings drafted Halliburton, knowing they were going to re-sign Fox or give him that contract, right? Because Fox was looking for 150 at least, and they gave him 165, right? So they drafted Halliburton, knowing that was it. Now, obviously, my draft Buddy Hield, but that's competent in itself, knowing that Buddy Hield has value. but he may not fit the team. You sign this guy, and then Buddy Hield could go to a contender. You have Halliburton to come in and slide. That's how you build a team where it's like the talent is always, and they didn't have to draft him, right? But it's like, why is it that the Knicks have been so inept? And to Jason's point, yeah, the front office knows more than us. But I mean, you probably would have said the same thing about Steve Mills, right? Front office is no more, and yet I could have done a better job than Steve Mills. Steve Mills wanted to trade for Rozier and give up the world for D'Angelo Russell. So when people say these guys know more than us, fair enough. I'm not saying I'm a GM, but the Knicks have been bad for so long. Maybe the fans know more than some of these guys in the front office. And I'm not saying this regime per se, but this regime right now looks like they're making some missteps, unless they have something for Westbrook. And look, I'm not the biggest fan of Westbrook, but if that's the plan, that maybe the Houston Rockets got to get rid of Harden and then let the dominoes fall, and that's one thing, right? But right now, bro, we are not in a good position.
As a fan, real quick, as a fan, this is what.
So the Sacramento Kings thing was this. They knew that they may lose Bogdanovich, right? And they drafted a guy to like insert into that spot to still have a third guard. That way, if you keep Bogdan, then you'd have 4 guards and you can bring Tyrese Halliburton along slow. But if he leaves or you trade Buddy or whatever, however the numbers shake out, you still competently backfilled your point guard and shooting guards positions. Go ahead, Raphael. I'm sorry.
Is it possible that the plan is to tank this season again?
No, I don't see how they can do that. And do what?
Past them?
Say it again.
Would you put it past this regime that the plan is to tank this season?
No, I wouldn't put it past them.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of
the
doubt.
Freezy, what do you think about it, Freezy? Would you put it past the reason they did it?
No. I don't think you tank I don't think you go out and sign Tom Thibodeau to tank. If you wanted to tank, you could have kept Mike Miller and tanked the whole season
and put it on him and blamed him.
Another head coach next year. You know what I'm saying? You could legit have tanked with Mike Miller and then gone out next year and maybe have gotten Tibbs, Kenny Atkinson, Mike D'Antoni, whoever you'd have had to pick a year later next year. So you don't bring in a guy to tarnish his reputation in New York City.
But then why not get him the talent so he's not looking bad though? Like why not have? Yeah, I mean why is it so? Why are we still?
I'm sorry, Guillermo. I'm gonna just finish.
Yeah, go ahead. Come here.
Go ahead, Freezy.
So my point is if in Guillermo's case where he said why not get the talent and then have the teams in the fan base see how they're being groomed and project towards the future versus a flat out tank with no talent and then tarnish the guy's reputation. He gets frustrated and it turns into a Larry Brown situation all over again. And I'm not saying that Obi Toppin is no talent. What I'm saying is Obi Toppin is no talent if you don't allow him to play because you already have a guy that's proven in his spot. So if Obi Toppin was a point guard, I wouldn't have the same feeling. But since you have Julius and no way to move him, now you have your rookie backing up a guy. Now Obi can't flourish. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I just want to clarify that. I don't mean Obi Toppin is a bust. I'm just saying that we made it complicated by drafting him into a position that's manned by the team's best player, at least from last year.
Right.
I mean, even if he was getting along with RJ, even if things were great with Julius Randle and RJ, I still would have drafted Obi Toppin. I don't think that they should change who they draft because how well Julius Randle is playing. So it just made the decision even better. But regardless of the fact, if Obi Toppin is there at 8, he falls to you, you got to take him. Julius Randle has to respect that decision.
This is the thing about BPA, man. And obviously the Knicks like the kid, right? But to me, you draft who you are convinced that's going to make your team better, right? When people talk about BPA to who, right? So if you are not, and some regimes, they get caught by this, right? That's why they'll come out years later and say, oh man, like this executive, or this front office guy, he was chomping a bit. Yo, you guys got to draft, just draft this guy, blah, blah, but we have to take best player available. and that best player available sucks, or relative to the other guy you should have taken that you had on your mind, that fit your team, whatever. And sometimes it goes the other way too. But to me, man, BPA, you take who fits your vision, man. Because right now, look, if you want it so that you have a point guard like that, and fair enough, you know. But in some cases, man, there's so many times where it's BPA and that guy does not pan out, and you would have been better off with a guy that fit a need, and he actually does really well, and it is more than he might have been the BPA and the need at the same time. You know what I mean? If this draft is a little bit weaker, that's why I went with the whole. It was probably better to go with more of a guy who fits a role or fits a need, a purpose at a high level versus a BPA that there's much more a risk. But, you know, we just got to be careful sometimes, man, because, you know, we get caught up in, you know, Obi. And I want Obi to kill New York. I'm not to fail to prove a point. But, you know, if he doesn't do well, and say a guy like Vassell or whatever does well, you know what I mean, we're gonna be pissed. We're gonna be really pissed, man.
Well, we know this. We know that the draft is a crapshoot, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're at rock bottom, gutter. What else we know is that we have difficulty signing free agents, right? Mm-hmm. And people are talking about next year free agent, you know, class or whatever. The top 4 players in next year's free agency class are like 30, 32 and older. LeBron's going to be 37. Mm-hmm. You know, you got other players 32. I looked at it today. I'm like, are we banking on that? The next best strength at the moment, we have to use our draft assets, picks, right, and use our space and draft. I mean, and trade for players to get them here. Because once they get into New York, they're gonna feel it.
JD, can I insert one thing? Because and this is me like trying to avoid like this. I'm not trying to make this into a teachable moment. But the thing is, you said 3 things, right? That were like dope facts that we should probably start the conversation on, right? Pivot. Like the fact that you said that we can't sign free agents, right? If you had said in that moment that the fact that we had to give Elfrid Payton a freaking no trade clause to come back. Think about that. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
You have a no trade clause?
Yeah, yo.
Knicks can't sign free agents. The fact that we had to give Elfrid freaking Payton a no trade clause to come back just highlights your point. And I'm sorry for interrupting because I know sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good interjection. That says a lot.
Excellent point.
So we got next year. We got what 3 first rounders in next year's draft. 3.
Yeah.
And then
2 in the first round and 1 in the second.
Huh? No, I'm looking at it now on TradeNBA.com.
No, it said 2 draft picks in the first round and 1 in the second round. So that's 3.
No, we got 3 first.
Oh, we got 3 first?
I'm looking at TradeNBA.com.
With the Clippers, it's a pick swap with
the
Clippers.
Oh,
right, pick swap with the Clippers. Right.
Okay, but here's my thing. Here's my thing I want to ask you. I know we are prisoners of the moment. We're not happy with the situation. How good is our opportunity to get a good player from here to the NBA trade deadline? What do you think? Is there a chance that we land the player that, since we got this $41 million cap space, that people will say, they call that. The other GMs call New York and like, hey, listen, man, I really want you to take this player. I can't take it anymore. How good is our situation going forward this year?
That requires patience, but also, like, Leon has to let up on the pedal about being cheap, about obtaining players. Like, we got to use a couple of picks for a very good player. We're going to have to give up a first round or 2. We're going to have to do it.
Right.
We got to use it wisely. Like, if it's for a really good player, like, I would give up a draft pick for Lonzo. That's me.
Right. But we have an opportunity where people can give us a draft pick, and not necessarily Lonzo Ball, but it could.
Then that's going to require patience. We're going to be like, okay, we're going to wait and sit around.
Right, because that's maybe what they're angling. It's a possibility that they say, let's just take this as it is. Take this going forward, and let's see. Let's force other people's hand to say, you know what, these guys got $40 million to put in 41.
What do you do in the meantime? You tank or you
want to work with us? And they want to work with us, because that's the first thing you want to do is you want to be cool, calm. You want to work with others, and you want to say, I got cap space if you need to get rid of somebody.
But they announced that. They did announce that.
But maybe, well, in free agency, you can say that, and that works against you. But if you do that during the trade deadline, a lot of people are going to say, you know what, man, it's just not worth keeping this player around. Let's just dump him. Let's just do a salary dump during the season, than during free agency. Because I feel like if you're going to do a salary dump might happen more during the season than versus during the off season.
I think things definitely heat up during the trade deadline without question. Mm-hmm. But I guess I'm questioning, like, okay, so if that's the plan, right? I hope you would really focus on finding out that diamond in the rough with, like, the players that we got now. Like, you need to send this message to the fans, like, we're just gonna be patient, because fans are out of different expectations. You got 41 mil cap space, we got draft picks. Right. We're gonna get 2 that we can plug in here and build with for the next 4 years. I want to see the team being built. Right. It doesn't have to be like whether it's a Bogdanovich and somebody else. Like, you plug in pieces that we need, and I would have been happy.
And we only need one good trade. We only need one. That's all we need. One good trade could turn this can possibly get the fans feeling a little more comfortable about what Leon is doing right now. Well, maybe 2, but I mean, we definitely need more signings. But definitely, if you get a big player, like, let's just say a Westbrook, we would be a little bit more patient if we get a Westbrook or CP3. I don't know who's the player in their mind. But
what is the difference between what Leon did by signing these 1-year deals and what Steve Mills did last year by signing those so-called one-and-done deals? What is the difference? Is there any difference?
Let me hold up. I need to think about well, first of all, we added more talent.
I think there is a difference. I think in the Philly
situation, more talent, and that's the name of the game.
Philly was so tired of losing for so long that they were basically subdued into a trust the process situation. You know what I'm saying? Because they would get one guy and then flip them, and then get one guy and flip them, and then so a GM team president came in and was like, "Listen, we're tanking, and we're gonna let y'all know it. You need close games. We're trying to lose these games so that we can move up." You know what I'm saying? There were no young guys learning on the fly, none of that stuff. They were like, "Yo, we know the number 1 pick is valuable to a franchise turning the corner, and if you don't get one, you're gonna stay mired in a situation of losing." Right? The thing with the Knicks is, we always feel like every year we can win, at least get to the playoffs, right? So a tank for us is the worst feeling ever. Like, you can't legit tell New Yorkers that we're gonna flat out tank because they feel like if you can add one piece, then we back. Basically, Orlando Reyes. That's basically, you add one piece and we back in the conversation. So, yeah, man. I just wanted to jump in and answer that. I feel like that was a pretty good question. The only thing that New Yorkers feel like, and so the thing with Philly is different, right? So Philly, nobody was winning chips. I think that the Flyers may have had some success, and the Phillies had some success maybe 10 years ago or something like that. But until they saw the Eagles turn the corner and win the Super Bowl, they were like, "Nah, this ain't that feeling." You know what I'm saying? So the thing with New York is we don't, the Knicks especially. I don't think the Knicks fans will be patient through a scenario where we're just flat out tanking, especially now that the lottery odds are set to spoil those that want to tank an entire season.
That's why we had to select players to show that we're building. Like, this is what's driving me crazy.
Mike Conley. What if Mike Conley becomes available?
I don't want to. How long is that going to rock out? Like, how long he's supposed to last for?
It's a 1-year contract.
That doesn't do nothing.
No.
Doesn't do nothing. That's what I'm saying. You need to put in pieces that we can see, okay, we're going to have these dudes for the next 4 years and have a team that's going to gel. These cats are young. For the next 4 years, we can, they'll be under contract, and we're moving forward. Like, these 1-year joints.
No, but look, what I was going to say is you could trade for him, and then you could have him re-sign with the team for 15 mil as an extension, 15 mil per year.
Mike Conley, injury-prone Mike Conley? At 30, how old is Mike Conley? 30-something, 33, 34?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I'm just I'm just trying to give you an example because, I mean, somebody got to be a point guard. We got to have one.
We do.
We could get a Conley this year, and then we can draft one next year. But at the moment, I mean, we got to have somebody who's competent at that position.
Who's the agent for Lonzo Ball?
Right, I think it might be too late. Got the most.
Rock Sport.
I think now
Rock
you have
Nation.
your roster filled.
But again,
I'm sorry.
Wasn't West a part of Rock Nation? Worldwide West?
that's a good point.
Was he CAA or?
Well, I know at one point they was under Rock Nation, or they was under Rock Nation was under. It was something. They have some connection to it.
They poached CAA of a bunch of agents.
Right.
When they first formed.
Where's Worldwide West and all this? Like, where's the influence? Like,
I don't know.
we got money, we got draft picks. Like, I mean,
I think
we're on the second day. You know what?
My move is to go for Buddy Hield, put him at the 2, RG at the 3, like Guillermo always says. Obi at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. Have the Kentucky crew come off the bench.
That once again, that would show me that we're like Buddy Hield would be here for the next 3 years. I could rock with that.
Yeah, and then
He's 28.
What about Bogdan? Or you think we have a chance?
Bogdan's already signed.
No, he's not.
You look
He's not signed yet?
off the bench, man. This is
Well,
this is
whatever. I
crazy.
mean, I gotta make that. Y'all make an example. I had to give one. I worked hard for that example, but
I'm
you know,
just saying,
both.
it's just like a jamboree to my ears to hear you say Julius Randle coming off the bench. I just don't know. It's like a party in my ear. Mardi Gras. That Julius Randle's coming off the bench. I just can't figure out why. You know, like what would motivate you to think like Julius is going to do that? You know what I'm saying? It's just he's got a hard enough time going 4 possessions without getting a play for him, and you want him to come off the bench.
Off the bench.
Not
Help his
gonna
own
I just
career.
can't figure it out.
To help his own career. He needs to help his own career.
Like in utopia, like in the ideal situation at this point forward, like let's just say hypothetical, we was able, like Worldwide West was able to reach out to Rich Paul and finagle something with Lonzo Ball, trade for him. Let's say we was able to get Bogdan to sign him. That signals that we're moving in the right direction. We got guys that'll grow with us, that'll gel with this team, that fits the timeline. Then you know what? I have a whole different shift in mindset. Like, okay, we good. I'm looking forward to the season start. Like right now, I'm just frustrated. I'm like numb. I'm really numb.
Right. Well.
I just the thing about it is that it's not necessarily. Look, I just want a sound plan, man. If you're gonna have Tom Thibodeau, you're talking about not tanking. It's like you really gave Tom Thibodeau the options of DSJ, Alfred, and Frank as your point guards. It's like, you know what I mean?
Go win. That's not enough, right? Both said.
You're banking way too much on this like miraculous development of those guys, and to have those guys be. Now, if it happens, it happens, and I'll eat crow. But it's just like, you know, I just don't like when you don't bring in new blood, new competition. I mean, I'm not talking about mercenaries. I'm talking about guys you can say, hey, we might, you know, I can see ourselves see us keeping this guy up for at the very least 2-3 years, right? Where he's developing whatever, or you keep him as an option. He's doing an adequate job, and then maybe in the draft or whatever, get somebody better. But at least he's doing something like, for instance, Rubio versus CP3. Rubio comes to the Suns, and look how obviously Monty Williams and his 0.5 seconds or less offense, but look how much better they look, especially at the end of the bubble. Look how better Devin Booker looked from an efficiency standpoint, right? And what they do, they upgraded to a better point guard who does what Rubio does and more. That's how you build a team. If you're going to bring in veterans, you get guys who fit a vision, fit what you are trying to do. Now, people say, well, what if Frank blah, blah? Fair enough. But again, those guys to me just aren't – they haven't exhibited the talent where it's like I could bank on it. DSJ, I just feel the game can be way too fast for him because he plays – he's a shooting guard, an attacking guard, and a point guard's body. And I feel like the game has just been way too fast for him, man. I want
to make a point to what you said about
Amani the Great. That's a great point, Amani the Great. I said the same thing. How did they get all this money to make these moves, the Lakers?
I want to say something about Phoenix real quick, Guillermo.
Yep.
And I mean, maybe it doesn't make a big difference, but you know, one of LeBron's friends works for the Phoenix Suns. So, what's that guy's name?
Oh, the one with the big head, the weird head, James Jones?
Yeah.
No,
James Jones.
Yeah.
So maybe that connection was able to persuade CP3 to go to the Phoenix Suns over the New York Knicks or the LA Clippers. So You know, it's a game of
the thing is, Raphael, though, like the point we just missed, like in a deal where we're looking to outbid somebody, right? You have to consider our track record. You have to consider our history, right? I mean, we legit think about what we just said. We legit had to offer Elfrid Payton a no trade clause,
that shocked me.
deal,
I can't believe
1-year deal.
Are you kidding me? Dude, I didn't hear that one on Twitter. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's facts.
Yeah, you legit think about what I'm saying. You legit had to offer Elfrid Payton.
That means you was really desperate
clause on a 1-year deal in order to come to New York. And we keep bringing up Lonzo Ball, Chris Paul. All these things. We're not getting those cats. We wasted our opportunity.
Right. Make a point. Keep talking. Good point.
Amani said, Freeze, I want to know how the Lakers make so many moves if they don't have any money. How the hell are they getting free agents and other teams around the league to they never pick up? The thing is, it's the Lakers, man. They have cachet. The Lakers have cachet, right? They legit have cachet. They tell Anthony Davis, yo, sit out there in free agency and let us sign all these guys. You don't sign your extension until we completely remake the roster, and then you can re-sign me back because of my bird rights, right? Mm-hmm. And if that was New Orleans could never have let Anthony Davis sit out in free agency. You know what I'm saying? To let them rebuild their roster, Anthony Davis would have been scooped up by the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of. Think about this. LeBron's contract is like 40-something million. So the Lakers had $70 million or so, and within reason, to play with to sign guys before they signed Anthony Davis to his Supermax deal, right? The Knicks can't do that. The Knicks legit had to beg Elfrid Payton to come back to fill their point guard spot, and he wasn't gonna come unless they gave him a no trade clause. I mean, y'all have to legit think about the situation that we're in. Our free agency journey is treacherous. You know what I'm saying? Other teams, not so much.
Right. Look at OKC. OKC's doing fine. They were able to bring in CP3 and develop their own cachet and all that good stuff. So shout out to Sam Presti, man. Sam Presti is making it happen over there. He's
Freezy, that raises a different red flag, man.
The Lakers are a destination. The Knicks are not. Whether the Knicks had all the money. Think about it. The Knicks had all the money, legit all the money, and said it in the press, right? The Lakers is coming off a championship with a whole bunch of veterans they were hoping to sign back. You know what I'm saying? Championship gives you cachet. History gives you cachet. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks are the total opposite. Our cupboards are bare. You know what I'm saying? Our cachet, that thing that we call cachet, is nothing. We don't have, you can send the slickest talking dude in the room, Leon Rose, Worldwide West, to these guys, and we still ended up, our prize free agent is Elfrid Payton. And he had to beg him to take
for you to even debate.
Nerlens Noel, my guy. I'm rolling with Nerlens Noel. Give me him. He's all right.
What this does is forces us to realize, I don't care how you slice it, we're gonna have to create our own diamond in the rough, You're gonna have to get two of these youngsters, to show up and show out.
So who's that gonna be? DSJ?
It's got to start with RJ. It's got to start with Obi. I'm telling you,
RJ. I think RJ and Obi are gonna have a good relationship because that pick and roll, I think, and that pick and pop with those two, I think is gonna be good, right? You obviously have to run it, but I think those two are gonna have a good. Now it's gonna be up to the coaches to temper how the rest of those goons, Elfrid Payton and Randle, act towards that because they're gonna get. I think the younger players would like to see RJ and Obi do well. They're gonna pass those. They're gonna let those guys rock. I can see guys like Randle forcing his stupid, trying to force it and double pirouette, triple pirouette to the basket moves. Like,
yeah, man.
Like I can see that
teams and shit like that. Yeah,
Tibbs there. He's not gonna go for that.
I hope not.
He says. Well,
no. Tibbs is no nonsense. No.
That's what
we have no other way out.
We don't know. We don't know, man.
I believe in Tibbs, man.
Hey, I believe in success, man. Show me the success, then I believe.
Okay, let's go.
I'm tired. As a Knicks fan, how many times have we been lied to? How many times regimes have come to us? Fizzo and all those guys were so-called transparent.
Nah,
and Fizzo couldn't coach worth a lick. You know what I mean? So
Tibbs and Spoelstra, I feel they come from the same cloth, if not very similar cloth. Those guys are very tough, and
Spoelstra has Riley behind him to help him, and Spoelstra, I mean, has had years with Riley to basically guide him, right? Tibbs, as good as Tibbs is a good coach, you know, for what he's done, but you know, I just wish that fans, not to say you have to be here and be bitter, but we got to be a little bit more objective, man. We've been sold hope for so many years with this Knicks team.
No, you got a good point there. But
we have no other way out, man. We got to
do whatever he wants in New York. That's done with. I believe those days are over.
Say it again. Oh, Julius Randle doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, those days are over.
Let's hope, bro. That's
over. He can. He's not doing whatever he wants. It's over.
Remember last year, Fizz with DSJ, it was two things. Fizz had told DSJ that they wanted him to form into this better point guard where he facilitates. That's not him. That's not him.
You know how many times I've seen where Mitchell set like a pick and then slip off to the basket and DSJ couldn't hit it? Like he could not make that quick slip pass to Mitch.
Yep.
Like I've seen, and even some of the guys who aren't the greatest of point guards, you see it because it's like that cerebral, like, all right, the guy's playing up with me. You know, like where Mitch sets a pick, cuts down, and there's like a little sliver where the two defenders are resetting, right? Where you can make that pass to Mitch, but it has to be like cerebral.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't have it. And that's fine. Like, he's just not that type of player. But we don't need that type of player. Like, he just can't do it. Like, I'm not trying to issue on him, but
I got a question for you guys. What's going on with De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, and Buddy Hield? Who's starting? Who's coming off the bench?
Tyrese Halliburton can play off the bench, but Buddy Hield, did they bring a new coach? I know they have a new GM. Did they bring a new coach in?
No new coach. Still Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
How do you have a De'Aaron Fox and a Tyrese Halliburton? Who's coming off the bench? And Buddy Hield. What's going on over here?
I don't know. I think they're trying to move. They might be trying to move off from Buddy Hield, who probably attract a lot of attention from.
Okay, so then I hope we got space for Buddy Hield. I hope that we go for him because you can't. I mean, he's getting 20 something mil. Let's just take his contract.
20, yeah. Let's just do what?
Let's take his contract. Let's just take it. We trade. I don't know, whatever it takes. Let's go for Buddy Hield.
Because it is just the.
Are you sold?
I mean, we got this guy, Buddy. They got. I mean, unless they want Halliburton to come off the bench. So if Halliburton, shout out to Jason. If Halliburton is going to play off ball, he's going to play the 2. So then, Buddy Hield ain't going for that. No coming off the bench.
Well, yeah, he's definitely. Well, he came off the bench last year. He had a big gripe with that, right? Yeah. So if they slap him in the face and force him to come off the bench again, they have to move that dude because it's going to reflect bad on them as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not. He shoots 41% from 3.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
He's a shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm with you. We can get him. That's a good signal for me. I like that.
I can deal with the point guard situation for now, but if you give me Buddy Hield, I can deal with for another month. But Buddy Hield, Buddy Hield, RJ Barrett, Obi, and Mitchell Robinson, I can say, you know what, we're moving forward.
I wonder if they throw the bag at Bogdan.
I think the Buddy Hield thing is now that Bogdan is gone. Buddy Hield's the starter. Tyrese Halliburton hadn't proved diddly in the league yet, unless he comes into camp and shows that he's the best rookie in his class. Then we should expect to see Buddy getting a green light every night. You know what I'm saying? The thing about Fox is. That's not even up for debate. My man just signed a max contract, so Fox is starting, and you would think that Buddy is starting. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and people say like Teddy said, he may be overrated, but he is on pace to obliterate Steph Curry's 3-point record. And I know you may say, well, that's a sign of the times, and we shoot more threes, but you have to be a great shooter to be in the same conversation as a Steph Curry.
What is Buddy?
Unless Tyrese Halliburton comes in and locks down opposing guards defensively, like I'm talking about, like maybe second team all defense caliber, and is bringing at least 16, 17 points a game on excellent efficiency, he's a rookie. He's gonna be coming off the bench and be happy with any minutes that he get.
Not to mention Freezy, not to mention that, when you have an Alfred Payton with his limited offense on points, and Frank and DSJ, you're hoping that they get 10 points per game. Buddy Hield's points and his shooting makes up for it. You know what I mean?
Just be content when Buddy Hield doesn't play any defense, man. He is not play defense. So
would you take Bogdan over Buddy?
I'll probably take Bogdan over Buddy at this point.
How's Bogdan's defense?
I don't think from the stuff I saw from the highlights, I don't think he was known for defense either. But Buddy had issues with Jaeger, whatever that guy's name is. And they were doing like decently, I believe, with whatever that guy's name is. But the thing with Buddy is like he's putting up all these numbers that he doesn't really affect the team. Like, and people can say the same thing about Fox. People can say it's the coaching, but I'm always confused by a team. Like I look at this kid's numbers, I'm like, this is fantastic, but why isn't he better? Like, should this guy why isn't this team better? I mean,
right?
Can Buddy score on all three levels?
Oh,
yes.
Guillermo, to answer your question, yeah, Buddy he could score all three. To answer your question, Marvin Bagley was hurt all last year, Guillermo.
So they only really did good 2 years ago 3 years, was it 2017?
Yeah, so Marvin Bagley
the playoffs
missed the whole season with his foot injury. He had a foot injury. He couldn't play all last season.
As it starts now, with the people we have on our rosters, who's your starting five?
Mine?
Yeah, either way.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna skip the point guard. I'm gonna go power forward, OB, center, Mitch, small forward, RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting guard, I mean, I want Alec Burks, Reggie Bullock. I don't know. Right, that's a sleeper. Alec Burks. See, Alec Burks can cover me. So I'm gonna go Alec Burks, and then my starting point guard. I mean, if DSJ is looking like he can give me 15 and 5, I'm gonna take the risk. Whoever can give me 15 and 5 between Frank or DSJ, whoever got it going, I'm gonna say, okay, you look like you got it going this week. I'm going with you. So it's either Frank or DSJ, whoever can give me 15 and 5. But if Frank is looking like he's only gonna give me 6 points, man, I'm gonna sub him out of the game. Hey, look, I can't. I don't need all that defense. I need somebody who can score too, and I'm gonna put in DSJ, who could get me another 5 points. And then
you got Guillermo.
Ralph Unreal is in the building.
Oh my God. This is gonna make me just throw up, but I'd rather, because that starting line needs defense. He's smarter than this guy. I picked Frank over DSJ. I gotta go at the 2. I gotta go Bullock just because he gives a defense. I believe Burks is a little older, but Bullock can give you defense and can shoot the 3. I like Bullock's game. At 3, I go RJ. With 4, I go with Randle, and then 5, I go with Mitch. But Obi's going to get a lot of minutes off the bench, so they'll make it. I'm not making it seem like Randle's better. Obviously, he's not.
I feel like that's drama with Obi and Randle. I don't want that smoke. I don't want that drama.
Say it again.
I wouldn't want that drama. Obi coming off the bench.
But bro, All right, you want Randle to be a malcontent, and you're trying to trade him off. You're trying to build up Randle's trade value as much as possible.
Wow, smart. Okay, I see you now. I see you.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get rid of this guy, man. Like,
I read an interesting stat today. It said that your boy Elfrid Payton, when he plays with Mitch on the floor, the offense they score like 114.9, as opposed to when he doesn't play with Mitch, they're like 106. I just found that to be odd.
do you have any stats on Frank to try to offset that?
So
I can check.
We have to take into account context, like how many possessions, how many possessions, what players were available. It's a lot of stuff you have to look at before you just assume.
I'm just reading what it said. There was no assumption.
There are other factors, multivariate analysis. You got to do that, right? Because it's not like every time that Mitch plays with Elfrid, right? They play with the same lineup, right? So you have to control for those factors that kind of might move everything out of whack. But Elfrid, look, he's more of a point guard than what we have. He makes me want to throw up when I watch him play. But
yeah,
what I do give Elfrid, he gets into the paint better than any other point guard we have.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I'll give him that. Who do you have for your starting five? You never say your starting five.
I was stuck on it, but I would go Elfrid, Bullock, Mitch, RJ, and I would definitely go. I'm not gonna say definitely, but I would put Randle to increase his trade value. But I'm splitting those minutes between Randle and Obi. Like there's like a 50-50 split. I start Randle, but you're gonna split minutes. But I want to increase his trade value, like you said. Joe, what's good, Joe?
What's happening, boys? How we doing?
Yo, what's up? What would be your starting five?
Starting five, I go Frank, Quigley, RJ, Obi, Mitch. Randle's out of here. There's no way that they're stupid enough to keep Randle. That's going to cause.
But they were stupid enough to give Elfrid Payton a no trading clause.
Look, I think they tried to get Jeff Teague and Augustine, but they went to contenders, so that they got.
What about Reggie Jackson?
Yeah, that's true.
Best shooter out of all of them. 3-point shooter anyway.
They screwed up there, but I say they're.
But Guillermo said it best. That just reflects the fact that they didn't have a plan. Like if you are that strong to get Elfrid Payton, and I agree with Guillermo. Like I don't see where they had a plan. That's crazy.
See, I was over on Nothing and Knicks with Sim, and Sim made it perfect. He goes, "Not till next week. These aren't finalized." So we said if the Knicks turn out and see there's a trade that they can make, because when you look at it, the Knicks have one roster spot, and they'll have, because Elfrid Payton was put in as a trade exception that they got for they got with the Morris trade to Clippers. We have close to $30 million in cap space with one roster spot, and you have to use 90% of that money.
Right.
So they might have something going on
up their sleeve. Yeah.
They might have something because they have to use that money and they only have one roster spot. So you have to
spend at least $10 million more. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay someone at least $20 million. So
that's what we're hoping for.
They have something going on. I think. Do you know what I think too? Elfrid Payton. They might have signed Elfrid Payton just to hold on to leverage for Westbrook, because at the moment them not having a point guard gives Houston leverage in the deal, because it shows them being desperate. So if they can get a deal done for Westbrook, they technically won't have to sign Payton. But I think like the other deals, I like the Nerlens Noel deal.
We all do. We all do.
Perfect backup for Mitch. And then the Alex Burke deal is not bad. He's a good shooter. He's an upgrade from Wayne Ellington. I like it. Upgrade from Wayne Ellington.
I like it.
So they're smart. They're not spending the money. Thank God they didn't give Gordon Hayward that 120.
Yeah, that was insane. The fact that they even waited for him was insane. Like, what are you having this dude hold you up for? Like,
that's a good signing for Charlotte. I think Charlotte's looking good with LaMelo and Gordon Hayward. I think that's a good signing.
That's a desperate signing. They done the same thing with Batum. Batum was looking good with Hoffman, and then he got hurt, and then they were stuck.
Right. And they didn't learn from that Batum situation. That's a great example, Joe.
Yeah.
How do you not learn from that?
And they're paying Batum now $9 million for the next 3 years because they waived him.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they waived him because they needed the money for Hayward. So
Yeah.
out of that contract, they have to pay him $9 million for the next 3 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
they spread over the 27 that he was owed over 3 years after cutting because he took the option like a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but
what
Jordan.
I thought the Knicks screwed up. The Knicks could have jumped in and got a pick out of it. They could have said, you know, we'll take Batum's contract, give us a first and a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because Charlotte would have been desperate enough knowing that they have Hayward on their hands to get rid of that contract. So I guarantee they would have threw in like maybe like a top 5 protected or something for next year. Jordan, hell of a player, probably the worst GM, the worst owner.
And the worst, they're very lazy when drafting. Very lazy. All they do is take the next player that's there. He's the absolute worst with it.
Right now, Charlotte's drafting really good though.
Who did they draft?
2 years, yeah. But
they drafted LaMelo, right?
PJ Washington, PJ Graham. They've had some
Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges.
They have Miles Bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who does Phoenix have? I'm mixing them up then.
No, that's
Phoenix
McCaffrey.
Phoenix has
okay. I'm bugging. All right.
So they got a dope starting 5, man.
It's young.
I'll stand corrected. Okay, I'm mixing them up with Phoenix and
they got a starting 5 that they have one of the deepest roster right now.
But them getting Hayward's going to start and Bridges is going to go to the bench, play the same position.
And that's what I'm saying.
So
see, that's the
young
conversation
guy that you were developing, but then you get a 30-year-old guy who's demanding $30 million a year, who's injury prone to take his position and stunt his development.
Danny Landis was good.
I think Gordon Hayward's coming off the bench, right?
Hell, you paying him $30 million? He ain't coming off the bench.
Yeah, he ain't
no way.
Everybody.
Hold on. What's the starting 5?
If you over 21, you going to the bench.
If I be LaMelo,
something real quick because I saw something in the chat. I want to just throw this in and just hop back out. Yo, if you're the Charlotte Hornets, if you're Charlotte, right, you wouldn't want to stretch Batum or the other player that they have that they could stretch. What you would do is go to New York and say, hey, would y'all take, this first round pick in 2025 and put them on y'all books? Because what happened around the league and people don't notice, the reason why Detroit sucks and can't do what they want and the Knicks suck and can't do what they want is because they still have stretch players on their books. Like for instance, the Detroit Pistons still have Josh, what's his name? The dunker from Atlanta. Josh Jackson.
You know
what I'm talking about. No, not Josh Jackson. I don't know. Anyway, they have a guy on their books that's making $8 million a year for like the next 2 seasons, right? And has been out in the NBA 3 years. And we legit have Joakim Noah on our books, right? For 3 more seasons, right? At $6.5 million a year. You know what I mean? So we legit have a player on our roster that's making the same money as Nerlens Noel, and he's not even putting the uniform on. So if Charlotte is smart, what they would do is come to the Knicks and offer up a first round pick or a second, kind of like what Philly did with Al Horford for Nicholas Batum. And in our space, based off the conversation y'all were having earlier, it would be a smart move for us. Because y'all were talking about, since we're not doing anything right now, why not build for the future and tank, right? So if you want to tank, then why not go in that direction?
But that was me too, Breezy. I was talking to you about that. Yeah, that was me.
But if I was the Knicks, I would have took on Batum, got 2 picks out of it, and then waived them.
Mitch Kupchak, Joe, is very tough. I find him tough to get that much from him. He was with the Lakers. I think he knows what he's doing, man.
But if you waive him, the money still goes against the cap.
Yeah, right. But only $9 million of it a year instead of giving him 27.
Right.
You mean prior to stretching?
Yeah, so I would instead of them waiving, I would have took advantage. I would have took, all right, you have Hayward on the door waiting to come in, but you need Batum's contract off. Give me a first-round pick and maybe a second. I'll take it. As soon as I take it, I got a first and a second, and I'll waive Batum. And he's only a $9 million hit on me this year instead of 27. That's what the Knicks should have done because they have the space. Because you're looking to have, they'll have close to $30 million. They need to use it, and they have 14 guys on their roster. Unless then they're going to waive maybe, I think they might waive Davis.
Joe, my thing is that Charlotte is also a young team like the Knicks. So I don't know how comfortable they feel about giving up draft picks like the way you think.
Yeah, but if they didn't give up the picks, they'd be like, all right, then they have the 9. They'll take on forwards 120 plus, and that's 30 for the year plus the 9. So instead of having to take on that's $39 million against the cap, they'd rather give up a pick for it. Because Jordan's cheap. So that's it. The Knicks should have took advantage of that and be like, all right, I'll take the contract. Give me a pick. Take the pick and then boom, dump him, waive him.
Yeah, Jordan's also dumb too, so he's probably like, I'm not going to give up those draft picks to get a guy off the fact that I want to win now with a guy like Hayward. So,
especially LaMelo Ball.
We underestimate how bad. Because we've seen it so bad for the Knicks. There are plenty of other teams that have like legit terrible front offices. But I mean, what's
Detroit looking that way right now? Detroit's looking just like that.
but also think about this way: we underestimated how the market felt about some of these aging players with huge contracts. Because I never thought that CP3 would get traded to the Suns. I thought CP3 would go. Well, I thought they would basically fold and then have CP3 used as a salary dump. And I thought also, well, I still hope. Well, we have to. Well, if you want him, you go hope. But a guy like Westbrook, I mean, I think with the Westbrook thing, I think if they can't resolve with Harden, if they end up having to trade him, which I think they don't want to do, but if they do that, then they'll let go of a Westbrook. But again, well, Westbrook could be,
still have the money for him.
He's going to be a salary dump. So then the Knicks will obviously be able to take him on. He fits a need per se, whatever. But we don't. We don't.
So they want to pick. I seen a trade today. Proposal today was Randle, DSJ, and the Dallas 2023. Which to me, I
for Russell Westbrook.
For Russell Westbrook, and I would do that because we have four, or we have. Sorry,
yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yep.
Yeah, we have 4 second-round picks. You can move them up and get in a first, or maybe 2 late firsts. Because Dallas by 2023 are going to be good. That pick's going to be around like the same as the Clippers was this year. So you could
for 2021, you got 3 first rounders and 2 second rounders for 2021.
Yeah, and then 2022 we have our first and 2 second. And then 2023, we have 6 picks. We have the 2 first and 4 seconds.
I just want to say something real fast. I mean, it's different, though.
Go ahead.
What's up, Rob?
Oh, no, I was going to say, I know we're all upset about the Knicks and how they drafted.
How they drafted? They drafted well.
No. Let me show you. Let me get to it. With the Frank situation and Kevin Knox and how they're not the kind of players that we're expecting. We were hoping for players that can average 15 points in this league, high motor, motivated, and everything else. Let's just keep it. Remember, Denver also, who was going through the lottery, they also did strike out with Emmanuel Mudiay. They also did strike out with Trey Lyles in 2015, while they were drafting a lot of going through the, they were going through the trials and errors. So I know they've stricken out. We also have struck out too. So let's not try to. I know sometimes we magnetize our situation like, oh, this only happens to us, and why does this happen to us? But it also happens to other good. Look at Denver's situation. They're a good. That's a good organization. Yeah. It's a game of trial and error, and sometimes you hit, and sometimes you miss.
Just about Trey Lyles. By the way, he went to Kentucky, so be careful that the Knicks might try to trade for him or bring him in.
They might.
But yo, hold up, guys. Yo, I gotta be out, man. I'll see you guys later, man. Salute to Big Freezy. Thank you for having me on, but I gotta be out, man. Salute to all you guys, man.
Peace.
All right,
Peace, Big Freezy.
So
peace, bro.
Denver has struck out with drafting, and they've been drafting a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Will Barton.
Will Barton's good though.
Hmm?
Will Barton's not a home run, but he's good.
He's good. He's a
decent player. He's good for them in the bubble.
Yeah, he's a good 15. He averaged 15 points for the season last year. He had a great season.
Yeah.
So look, Will Barton, Mason Plumlee, who just went to the Lakers or Detroit, and 2014 they got Nurkic, as well as Jokic, as well as Gary Harris. So they struck out it all in 2015. So you know, it's a game of hit or miss with this draft, and sometimes we hit and sometimes we miss.
Yeah.
And sometimes but it's not easy. It's not easy right now because
that's
with the draft, you mean?
No, it's not easy. What's going on as a fan because we're only 25 wins.
Yeah. That's what you need to do is keep collecting bad teams need to with cap space need to collect bad contracts, take on picks, and be like OKC, start flipping. Look at how they went from last year having maybe 3 or 4 picks to getting rid of Westbrook, getting on CP3, flipping him, taking on Kelly Oubre, flipping him, taking on Trevor Ariza, flipping him. They've turned from maybe 3 or 4 draft picks the last couple of years to 18 draft picks in 6 years. So they have so many, they can afford to whiff on guys because you're going to take risks. That's what bad teams need to do. OKC are going to rebuild an awesome team now. They're gonna have all-stars in the G League. Like they're gonna.
Right. I got a question for you. But what about when you have a RJ Barrett and you have a Mitch Robinson and an Obi Toppin? What do you do
around them?
No. I got you. Here's my question because you said take on bad contracts, right, and more draft picks. What if those other players? You know, they might have big contracts with big egos, right? Like a Westbrook has a good. I mean, look, he has a. I like him. I still take him, but I'm not gonna act like you don't have.
I love his attitude.
I like his attitude personally. I'm not gonna act like
an asshole. They need a dog in here.
I got you. I'm with you.
But everybody's too soft.
I got you. I agree with you. But my whole thing is that I want to keep in context that there are fans that do have their concerns about Russell Westbrook attitude with the young core we have. So
I have that concerned about Julius Randle.
I get it.
It's a known fact. Randle wasn't good with the players. He was the last one into practice, the first one to leave. Never communicated with the good players. And now you brought in Obi, his replacement. The whole team reached out to Obi to congratulate him and welcome to the team, except Randle. And then you're going to have to tell Randle, you're going to go from the number 1 option to go to the bench. Randle needs to go because there's going to be problems in the locker room.
I got you. And here's my point. That's the point I'm trying to say. Like if you take on these big contracts, you have to expect some players are not gonna. They're gonna have a chip on their shoulder. They're gonna have the egos are gonna get bruised for whatever reason you cannot expect. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you bring in a Westbrook attitude, he might get mad over something. He might flip. I'm not saying him personally. Let's just say John Wall. If you take on CP3, any player that has a relatively $20 million in up contract, you have to expect an ego. An ego.
Let me do something real quick before y'all get back at it. Just something real quick. Yo, shout out to my man Khaled Pasha. My man is in the building. The Triborough Gigolo was good. Hey, and Julian Tran is in the chat, yo. Is hilarious. He talking about fade for Cade. Yo, that is so funny.
You know what? But I'm getting to that point. You have to forget. Look, we're tanking. Look, this free agency, all the Knicks fans are expecting. Oh, we're going to go after Van Vliet. We're going to go after this guy that way. We were shopping in Dollar Tree. We were
let me finish this thing real quick. Let me finish this thing real quick before y'all get back at it. Yeah. Yo, if you like what you're watching, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. So y'all can get more of this Knicks talk from my brother Joe. You know what I'm saying? Because he come in here and he gonna be spitting up facts at y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we not real polished. You know what I'm saying? We don't have super production. But
shout out to James Dole and I'm
real
available.
Knicks talk. You know what I'm saying? So hey, shout out to the esteemed panel. You know what I'm saying? God of Moses and Elijah, Jay Dills, and Joe, giving y'all that much needed talk in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. My bad.
Let me ask Joe. Joe, also, let's not act like we're not hearing fans say Russell Westbrook doesn't make our players better. He's a cancer. He's a problem. He's a problem. This, that. I can't remember a lot what people say about Russell Westbrook because I'm not one of them. But I have read. If you go to Twitter, you will hear a lot of Westbrook haters. And
Ralph, let me address that. Can I address that real quick? Yeah. So people always talk about Westbrook hasn't or doesn't make people better. So let's ask Victor Oladipo that question because Victor Oladipo swears by him. Let's ask Paul George that question because Paul George was an MVP and finished 5th playing with Russell Westbrook. Let's ask Steven Adams about that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? People see it one way.
Off of Westbrook.
Right. But what about with rookies? You think he couldn't work with rookies? Because
you know what he brings to rookies? He brings tempo. He brings fearlessness. He lifts his energy. He shows them how to play the game at a high, intense pace. Give 110%. Give the fans what they want. Does he make mistakes? Yes. Does he make boneheaded plays once in a while? Yes. Does he turn the ball over? Yes. Steve Nash turned the ball over 5-6 times a game.
Will there be an ego problem with him and him wanting to win the whole team?
Westbrook is going to tell
it. He's a great guy.
If you're losing a game and players aren't playing well, he'll take that ball. He's like, you don't want to work? I'll do it myself. That's his type of attitude.
Westbrook is a great guy, man. Family people off the court. Family guy, doesn't get into drama off the court. You know what I'm saying?
You see his Instagram and stuff. He has 3 kids. He has his wife. He's with his family. He goes and plays hard basketball. He goes home. He's not like John Wall and some of these guys are out drinking, partying in the club at the weekend. He's a family guy. He goes home and he comes in and he does his job and he makes guys better. He carried a bunch of young guys, him and Steven Adams, and there was nobodies in that team for 3 years. And he carried them to 3 straight playoff runs.
Yeah.
Because usually when there's big contract, I always think big contract, big chip on the shoulder.
No, because some of these, you look at LeBron James, big contract, but every team he goes to, even though I don't like the guy, can't stand the guy, but he does make teams better.
Here's the thing for Westbrook. Sorry, Joe. Here's the thing. We need a spark. We're in the gutter. Westbrook is that spark. It's not about him taking us to a championship. He helps set the foundation for these younger cats and showing them how to play. We need a spark. Plain and simple. We're not looking for the perfect play. We need somebody who's going to bring a spark. He's one of the dudes that can bring a spark. Bar none. I mean, without question.
And that deal's still on the table. I believe so. They're holding on to that. They're holding on to Randle, DSJ, and the money for that deal. That's what I believe. I believe that they're playing it smart with Houston. They're sitting back and letting Houston come to them. They're trying to get the price down.
But by the same thing, people got to understand. If we were to get Westbrook, he can't do it all alone. So New York will crucify him if he doesn't have that.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you on that.
They will crucify him. Oh, you got Westbrook. He can't get you but to the 8th seed. He can't do it all alone.
Have talent. And that's the thing about I was arguing about yesterday.
There's a nice young talent here. He'll make RJ better.
No,
imagine if
but we need more. We need more.
Mitch with Russ, like a pick and roll.
But Joe, my argument with you is we need more, and this is what I had my problem last year.
But Westbrook is the piece.
No, you need more than him. You need more than Westbrook too.
No, but you have this team. No, I'm not looking to go to no championship. People are saying, "Oh, he's not going to win a championship." You need to get to the playoffs first. And we need a guy in here to bring the team winning and respectability. Nobody wants to come here. We're trash. We're a bad team with a bad reputation.
I agree with you. I agree with
us and you start winning, you get credibility, and people want to come.
I agree with you, but what I want to say to that, I agree with you. But the only point I have to say to that is, I don't, like J. Deals just said, I don't want Westbrook to be crucified either. Like,
he's not going to be crucified. If he brings the Knicks to the 8th seed, he'd be a goddamn god. because to take this team from, because the way we're looking at the reason why I don't think they're spending in free agents, you look, Atlanta spent money, the Hornets spent money. They're all going to be fighting for the 8th seed. The only way we're getting to the 8th seed is bringing Russell Westbrook in there.
Shay's in the building, Freezy. Shay's in the building.
Yeah, I see. Hey, hold on for just a split second, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this thing I'm gonna have one more person come on. It'll be Shay, and then when Shay come in, I'm gonna dip out. But I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right behind y'all. So what I'm doing is fact checking stuff.
Yeah.
And streaming through comments. But I'm gonna let Shay get in here. Shay, you got to bring your A game tonight, though. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe is here, and Joe is riled up, ready to go. Raphael had cut him off one time, and I saw the
what?
So yeah.
No, I wasn't trying to cut him off. Come on.
No, it was accidentally. I didn't say you did that intentionally. I didn't say that. I'm not. But you know what though? Raphael be wanting to get his thing in. Y'all better watch Raphael.
I want to
go ahead, Raphael. Sorry. No, I was just.
Raphael's even killed tonight.
They need to get a dog in here. They need to get some credit because I'm sick.
No doubt.
Raphael is here. What are you talking about? Raphael is our dog. Raphael is that dog we've been looking for.
In the Knicks.
Carry on, Joe. I want to listen to Joe. Go ahead, Joe. But like I said, though, Joe, again, I don't want to put Russell Westbrook in a position where he can get killed too, and that's the problem. I want to bring up this. I still feel we need one more piece as well as Westbrook. That's why I feel like I told Jay Deals earlier. If we trade for Lonzo Ball, I don't mind if you want to trade Buddy Hield, Julius Randle for Buddy Hield, but you can't do You can't do a Julius Randle for Lonzo Ball and think you're set because you just play musical chair, so to speak. You gotta have two moves. You gotta make one move here, and then you gotta have another. If you're gonna move Julius Randle, you could keep him, or you can move Julius Randle for Buddy Hield or Bogdan, whoever you guys like. I don't care, but you gotta make a double move. The Knicks needed a huge, like Guillermo was saying earlier, the Knicks needed to sign Fred VanVleet to say the least. At least
you said that?
Earlier today he was talking about.
Guillermo said that?
I think so. At least a point guard.
Okay.
Didn't he say something about Fred VanVleet today?
Yeah, I don't know if he said that we should have signed Fred VanVleet. Well, he was against that.
Well, let's just say we needed to sign a point guard. I'm sorry, he was talking about signing a point guard.
Right.
Let me take that back. He said that we needed to sign a point guard. Had we signed the point guard, we would have looked competent. I agree. And then if you want to make a move and say move Julius for Bogdanovic, whatever you like, that would have been fine. But you need Alonzo or point guard and another piece. You need two. So Russell Westbrook is just one piece, is what I'm trying to tell you. And then you still need another piece. If not, you're going to fall $1 short.
But don't you have RJ? Why don't you give the keys to RJ and let him step up? Because you
don't get crucified. I don't want none of these players to get crucified either. I'm not that.
Yeah, but hold on 1 second. RJ last year had Randall ball hogging. He had no space. He had no shooters around him, and he still put up decent numbers.
And he was a fourth option.
Yeah, you put him with Westbrook as the second option, and now you have a power forward that can stretch the floor. You'll have Mitch. Imagine you Westbrook running a pick and roll with Mitch and with Obi.
Nice.
Like, who's going to defend that? Nobody's going to defend that. I'm telling you, when you have Obi, you have RJ. They're the two pieces that can go with Russ and get to the playoffs. People are talking about, but he's not a leader, not a championship. We're not trying to get a championship. We're nowhere near a championship.
No, I'm not.
The Knicks are down in the gutter. We have no respectability, and we're trying to get back up. Bringing Russ in, and they're talking about, the cap space. Nobody's coming here. It's proved it again this year that nobody's coming taking our money.
And people keep talking about 2021. We're not signing no free agents in 2021.
Nobody's coming. You spend the money on Russ. If he gets hurt, you need to throw the dice out on somebody. And Russ, you can't turn down a superstar if you have to give up a first-round pick, Julius Randle, DSJ. You do it. I'll do it all day, even on a Sunday. That guy needs to come in here.
Twice on Sunday.
Come in here and you run, and then let him run a team. Because the problem now is you're going to have Obi and RJ. They're not going to excel because they don't have a point guard to run the offense.
Right.
They're going to have goddamn Elfrid Payton who shoots below 20% from three.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Elfrid Payton's decent, but he's not what we need. Like, that's why I think Lonzo Ball is a good option. He's not going to get us to the playoffs, but he's gonna get us a little bit better. Westbrook is the one that'll push us to the playoffs.
Shay, you got something to say?
Yeah, I see. Got frustrated again tonight.
Yep.
Wanted some free agents, and I can certainly understand. It's surprising, Gordon Hayward went over to Charlotte. That's surprising, but the whole Russell Westbrook thing, Houston knows that they ain't getting nothing but a second-round pick. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if they're looking to say, okay, we know we only going to get a second-round pick for Russell Westbrook. So with James Harden, we're looking for first-round picks, and I just think Brooklyn is unwilling to do that because they're looking like, well, we got to give you Spencer Dinwiddie or Caris LeVert or both. We're not going to do that. So you can choose which one you want, and we may give you a first-round pick, but we're not going to give you several.
I like Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert is fine.
I know they're not, Russell Westbrook, but what about trading some picks for one of them? Not both of them, but one of them.
What? Westbrook or Harden?
No, then Caris LeVert, yeah.
I'll go for Caris. I'll go for Caris.
LeVert is fine.
Talking trash about the Knicks.
Right. I don't want no parts of Dinwiddie.
Minnesota, somewhere up north.
Yeah.
Or Toronto or somewhere. Yeah. He was talking trash with the Knicks.
They might as well just take the second-round picks then. I don't know what's their problem. They put themselves in that position,
No, they're Brooklyn Nets. Now they have KD and Kyrie, and they're all think they're hot shit, so they're talking shit about the Knicks. But no matter who they sign, the Knicks is going to be New York's
little brother. I mean, big brother.
Brooklyn's the little brother.
Yeah.
Nobody's see the thing about KD and Kyrie. They start talking about the Knicks because they want to get their name in the media because nobody's talking about them. And I think James Harden is talking.
Brooklyn is the Buffalo Bills of New York.
Yeah. They're winning, but they're not doing nothing. Yeah.
Right. They're the Buffalo Bills of New York. Like, they're not New York City's team.
I'm frustrated for y'all though, because I'm looking like, okay, I've seen them waive, players that y'all said they might waive, except for Dennis Smith Jr. But I was looking like, okay, what are y'all gonna do? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I wasn't surprised that Carmelo Anthony went back to Portland. That's not surprising. So I was just like, okay, what are y'all gonna do? Who are y'all waiting on? Besides Russell Westbrook, maybe, but he's not a free agent. So
there's gonna be there. I think the Knicks are sitting because there's nobody left. There's Bogdanovich maybe left, but he's not gonna really good player, but not gonna really move the needle, and he's gonna demand about $20 million. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So they're holding out. When you think about it, they have Randle, they have DSJ, they have a load of picks, and they have the money. They still have $30 million in cap space. So I think they're holding out for Westbrook. If not, they're going to sign another 2 or 3 $5 million or $10 million deals to use the money up. Because I know they have to use up 90% of the money.
The Morris brother y'all wanted, didn't he go back to the Clippers, right?
Yeah, he signed big though. 4 years, $64 million.
Umara.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
Good for him.
What is going on?
He deserves his money. He worked hard for him. Him and Kawhi Leonard are solid, but Paul George is a nightmare, and
Well,
Sam Press is catching a lot of heat because they're calling him like he robbed the Clippers for Shea Gilgeous.
He did. He fleeced them. What 6?
Yeah, but but the Knicks, we didn't fleece them. We did right by him. Marcus Morris for that 27th pick is a fair trade.
Yeah.
And we even took Mo Harkless, and that's Mo Harkless. I don't know. He's a decent defensive player.
Yeah, and there was a free trade exception in the deal too, so we got extra money to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only thing I could think about though is maybe they doing
14 players
for the Knicks. Maybe they just gonna wait until the trade deadline whenever that's.
I was gonna ask you, when is free agency over?
That's a good question.
When is free agency over? Because this is the second day. All of us
up until I think it's the week before the season starts.
Or the season, okay.
Yeah, because still free agents are still going to sign even in the middle of camp.
No, free agency isn't over until the trade deadline, right at All-Star break.
Okay.
So none of this open.
Yeah.
You can sign free agents as many free agents as you want.
All-Star break this year.
Yeah, that's the way. That's the way it's always been. Like once free agency opens, it goes through all the way to the free agency deadline. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be a deadline for lock rosters for playoff runs, so you can go through all the way through that time. So I said it incorrectly. I should have said free agency is open until the transaction deadline is closed right before playoffs have to lock rosters.
So we're on day 2 or going on day 3, right?
Well, usually all of them will be done. Like all the main guys are going to be, or mostly anyone that's going to stay in the NBA, they'll all be signed by the 1st of December, by opening for camp. Well, most of them, and then you're going to have guys like Isaiah Thomas and some of these guys that are no deals that might get signed like mid camp or during the season or something.
I feel bad for Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, he had it tough, but he had a lucky year with Boston. The guy's too small.
Well, he was also stupid for not taking that money.
Yeah.
And I wish these young brothers will understand that this is a business. Get that bag.
Yeah.
Don't put it off. Don't let them sweet talk you. Get that bag.
Yeah, because he put it off thinking he'd get more money.
Yeah, that was very stupid. And he also, I think he put off because Boston, Danny Ainge said something to him about, we'll take care of you next year. They want to sign somebody. He put the G, he G'd him.
Yeah, and then they traded him for Kyrie.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody help him out on his team and be like, man, take that money. They scared him.
I don't get it.
John Wall took the money. Otto Porter in his way took the money. Almost everybody we know that's kind of always injury prone. Chandler Parsons definitely took the money.
Yep.
I'm looking
John Wall was stealing money. John Wall signed a $40 million a year contract, and a week later fell at his home and hasn't played in 2 years. He hasn't played under the contract, and then he comes back and then he asks for a trade.
Why did he ask for? I heard different things. Why did he ask for a trade? What was his reasoning?
Because the team there's a video of him and his birthday, and he was putting up gang signs in a video. And the team come to him and said that they were going to trade him, so he put in a trade request before they decided. And then they started talking about trading him straight up for Westbrook.
But that image with the gang signs, that was like 3 months ago. And he just made the request yesterday or 2 days ago.
No, there was another video.
So he put up 2 videos with 2 different gang signs or 2 gang signs?
Yeah, there was another one of his birthday a week ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Is they need to because I seen the Hornets went on and did the right thing with Nicholas Batum and went on and balled him on out. They need to figure out something with Wall and do what the NFL does when players be involved like that. Go ahead and give them a reality check and handle it the right way. I don't know what's wrong with him. You too old for all that. You've been in the NBA too long to be running with people like that. Them people ain't no good for you. Them people ain't gonna
right.
I need to head out, guys. I need to head out. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna check you guys out tomorrow.
All right, Ralph.
All right, man. Peace, guys.
No problem, buddy. Take it
Peace,
easy.
guys. Peace, man.
All right.
All right.
But See, whatever they do in their own lives, their own business, but they need to watch what goes on the internet because they're superstars. They're in the NBA. They know that the NBA is going to, like, because I think the NBA would give them a fine or something too. And I think the Wizard, I think the Wizards fined him, and then he asked for the trade because he got fined.
I also heard other stuff. I heard they talked about they went to build around Bradley Beal, so he took that in a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Then he heard about the trade for Westbrook, and then that's when he announced it. So he has a whole bunch of stuff that he's
a reality check though, because
he's not getting traded. He's coming off an ACL injury and he's making $42 million this year. I think 47 on the last
one. Yeah.
All they got to really do though is pay him for 2 years, and then I think the Houston GM got money like that and just pay him out. Pay him for 2 seasons, and
the Houston owner is going bankrupt. He owned restaurants that he got hit.
Oh yeah, COVID.
So he's tight. That's why
Harden
and Westbrook.
Every team get one.
How much do we have in cap space now?
Close to 30.
We have $10 million that we need to use.
Right.
21 mil available.
We have 21, but
21 million available.
No, we have more. We have close to 10 because there was 2 of the deals were used in a $8 million. I think it was part of an $8 million trade exception brought over from the Clippers. So we have, I think Sim told me it was like close to like 29 or something.
Dang, that's a lot of money.
But all them deals aren't official from next week. It's all
right.
They're all signed, but technically, if a deal comes, a trade comes, the Knicks can waive off them deals.
Wow.
So they have a week to do it because I think next week, once they're officially signed, they can't trade them guys until I think closer to the deadline. I think there's a point around the deadline.
This year, like after they sign them after 30 days, they can trade them.
Yeah, I think it's like 60 days or something. Then they can trade them.
Oh, okay.
So, they're all tradable contracts. I like some of the deals they made. Like the Nerlens Noel's deal was good. Like he's a good backup for Mitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's what we needed because he's what we needed. Taj Gibson, I like Taj Gibson, but he wasn't doing it at the 5 when Mitch was off the floor.
Right.
So now you have that defense. Burks is nice, plays defense and can shoot. Then Quigley and Obi, I like both of them moves. It's just the Peyton one.
That's what got everybody. Yeah.
Well, hey, so with that said, I wanted to touch into some treacherous territory. I know how y'all love Elfrid Payton and Frank Ntilikina, and I know how y'all love Kevin Knox, his development being slowed. But I want to touch on the position, the point of reference, like where we are right now. Like what do we do right now? Because most of the hypotheticals, man, I think will fade away the closer we get to training camp. You know what I mean? Like we basically have this week right here be Thanksgiving week, and then a week after that, everybody reports to camp, right?
Right.
So what do we do with this roster when you have DSJ, Frank, and Elfrid Payton at point, right? Then you have RJ Bullock, Mini Q at shooting guard, and you have Knox and some others at small forward. I don't know. To me, the roster is
well, you're gonna have RJ is gonna move over to probably small forward.
No, I just can't see that. I just can't see you moving your centerpiece for some random guys like RJ go play the 3 while I let Reggie Bullock play the 2.
Well, because that's RJ's natural position, and you have no one else to play the 3.
And honestly, I would go ahead.
Yeah, because that's what you have now. You have Quigley. To me, I think he's ready to start. But he's not going to. It's going to be probably a month or 2 before he starts. So I see it be Bullock, or it'll be Burke will play the 2 and RJ will play the 3. And then, I don't know, you have Randle and Obi fight it out for the 4. I think they go into training camp, best man wins. And gets the 4. And to me, that'll be Obi because he can stretch the floor.
No, I don't know. There's no way Julius Randle's coming off the bench. Y'all may as well kill that dream There is no way Julius Randle is coming off the bench.
Yeah, they'll put him on the bench. If Obi's better, they'll put him on the bench. They don't want him here. They're trying to trade him.
Can I tell you why that Julius Randle is gonna come off the bench?
Why?
If Obi's a better player in training camp, he'll come off the bench.
Go ahead, Shay. Let Shay speak on that.
Yeah.
The reason why I feel is that Julius Randle is gonna come off the bench. Both men are in their 20s, but the difference is Obi is coming in at 22 years old as a rookie. It's no way, if you're honestly looking at it, where you're like, well, he is just still 22, so I'm gonna just still bring him off the bench instead of just giving him those valuable NBA minutes, and he helps your offense more than Julius Randle can. And then it's the whole Kevin Knox issue. They might feel like Kevin Knox is better to play alongside of him, but it's a possibility that Kevin Knox might be coming off the bench. Yeah. So he might come off before Kevin Knox, but at the same time, Kevin Knox could come off before him because they could say, well, at least he's able to stretch the floor a little bit. Remember, his college coach or whatever he was to Kevin Knox was there. And I know he coached Julius Randle, but come on now.
Here's the thing that y'all got to take in consideration. NBA coaches operate with a certain etiquette. So if a player is not a malcontent, right, and he's been a starter and he produces, they'll offer that courtesy. They're not going to just slap him in the face like you're coming off the bench now, right? What they do is to smooth the situation out is they split minutes. Like they'll give a 50-50 minute. Let's say you got an Obi Toppin. We're going to, give Obi Toppin a fair share of those minutes. They're not going to just straight disrespect Julius Randle, especially if he's not a malcontent. Jay, at the beginning,
what has Obi Toppin done in the NBA?
Nothing. It's just his age.
You're not going to spend the 8th overall pick. If you were going to get someone and develop them and slowly bring them in, you would have drafted a point guard or a younger guy. You're not going to spend the 8th overall pick and a guy to back up. And this is going to tell you why they're trying to get rid of them. There was an article come out said about Julius Randle. He's the last man to come into practice, the first one to leave. He doesn't communicate with the guys. There's been issues with fighting with guys in the locker room. Now you have a problem is you have Obi Toppin. You put Randle and Mitch, you have no spacing. Then
what article was this? Where was this at?
Ian Begley put it out, I think it was like 7 or 8 months ago.
Oh.
It was towards last year, I think. I was watching Knicks Fan TV and they were talking about it. And he was explaining on it. He was like there's been issues with Randle in the middle. They were trying to move Randle at the deadline last season. And the deal fell through. Which the same deal I think needs to be brought up about moving straight up Terry Rozier for Randle.
I think they're past that. Charlotte is. If they trade Terry Rozier, it won't be for Randle now. They got Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
So to address your point, Freezy, I mean, I'm stuck at what we do with at this point. I'm just at a lot. I got to really think on that because one of my things is we got to find 2 of these younger players. We got to find these diamonds in the rough, man. We got to find. That means they got to get extensive minutes. So I don't know exactly what to do at this point.
Well, what they need to do
is build this thing brick by brick. Do the conventional move, until Obi Toppin proves that he's legit, he'll come off the bench, right? And the conundrum that's presented to Obi Toppin is not one that he looked to create for himself. You already had a guy that's 19-9, and y'all want to ship him to the bench for a guy that hadn't even played a
Hold on, Freezy. 19-9, empty stats. He was a turnover machine that can't stretch the floor. That is wanted out. They're trying to trade him, and I guarantee he's not even going to be on the roster by the 1st of December. And Obi's going to start. I don't know why people love Randle. Randle was probably the worst signing they made. There's a reason they drafted Obi Toppin because it stretched 4 because they didn't want to get rid of Randle. If they wanted to keep Randle, they wouldn't have drafted Obi. They would have went point guard. But they've been trying to. It's been known fact if they didn't get Obi, they were going to try and sign Christian Wood or Bertans to replace Randle. Randle wants out, and they want out of Randle. They're trying to find a deal for him, and he's not going to be here by the 1st. So Obi's going to be starting, huh?
I said I agree with they don't want Randle. They're trying to get rid of him, but I don't like they're going to start him. You got to start him to increase his trade value first and foremost.
Right.
No,
so
they'll waive him. I think before because
C-Mac must be sleepy because C-Mac said two things. He said, first of all, he guaranteed money on the internet. You can't guarantee money on the internet, dog. And secondly,
wait, what?
let me get to the point that Shay and Joe made, which is more important. The most important thing that we have to look at here is all those things that y'all said are accurate, right? You don't draft a guy in the top 10, such and such. The things about Julius Randle not being a fit and such. But the facts remain that the kid is still on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how we look at the situation, you have to look at a situation where you're bringing in a first-year head coach who doesn't have a track record of playing rookies, right? And y'all saying from day one, y'all are saying that Tom Thibodeau is going to play a guy that's known for offense and known to be deficient at defense. You know what I'm saying?
But so is Randle.
All these decisions won't be made in a vacuum. You have to consider all the circumstances. Like, when's the last time Tom Thibodeau played a rookie big at that? You know what I'm saying? And two, you already have an established starter that put up borderline all-star numbers. He legit put up 19 and 9, 20 and 10 get you to the all-star game.
Numbers don't mean nothing. When you look at him, he was garbage. That's why they're trying to get rid of him. Numbers don't mean nothing. Empty stats. You look at Zach LaVine, 25 and 7. Where's Chicago? Back in the high end of the lottery. If Randle was putting up all-star numbers and trying to be like an all-star player, we'd be closer to the playoffs.
Was Randle second on the team in assists?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And so the thing with the empty numbers thing is I understand what you mean because I've lived through cats like Alex English who put up a whole bunch of scoring numbers in Denver. You know what I'm saying? Dominique Wilkins put up a whole bunch of scoring numbers in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you mean. But just to say that it's guaranteed fact that Julius Randle is coming off the bench or even better, Obi Toppin is starting, I just think we just need to look at that a little more carefully as opposed to saying that it's a fact that Toppin's going to be starting.
But what I'll tell you what is if Randle's still on the roster, Tibbs isn't going to just give it to Randle. He's going to give them fair shot out. Whoever wins the job in training camp gets it. It's going to be the same thing with DSJ and Frank. It's going into this training camp, no one's guaranteed a position. Mitch isn't guaranteed to start, and RJ is not guaranteed to start. They have to earn their jobs with Tibbs. That was the thing. Randle was coming in, you're going to be the number one option. And now he done more damage as the number one option. He shouldn't have been the number one option. And that's the thing now. You're going to tell him, this isn't your team anymore. Randle has an ego now where he thinks he's the man. And if you tell him he's going to go off the bench, there's going to be arguments in the locker room. There's going to be problems. When you look in, right, the whole team congratulated Obi for coming to the team. Randle never said nothing because Randle knew this guy's coming from my spot.
Here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing. In big business, there's always politics. NBA is big business. So when you got like players like RJ and Randle, those, like in terms of starting, it's politics. Like Randle, like we're paying him $18 million, trying to get him out of here. The politics behind it is we need to start him. RJ was a top 3 draft pick. We need to show that we're committed to our youth. There's politics behind it. So even though you can say that, they're going to earn their jobs, RJ starting. Because they know how Knicks fans feel about that.
No, because he's gonna start because he's gonna earn it. That's what I'm saying is he's gonna earn it. Obi to me is gonna outplay Randle because the thing is he opens up the floor. If you have Randle, you have Randle on the floor with Mitch. There's no spacing. We've seen that. Then if you put Randle at the 5 and Obi at the 4, the defense is going to be horrific. So Obi and Randle can't be on the floor together. Mitch and Randle, see, the thing is, Randle's the odd man out because he can't shoot. And he's never been able to put up proper shooting numbers. So what the thing is, if Randle comes off and be the 6th man, I'm not saying Randle's going to be on the bench not playing minutes. Randle could be the sixth man to be like the way Montrezl Harrell was the sixth man off the bench playing close to 30 minutes. Like they can mix him in and out. Like they could have Randle playing at the 4 and Mitch at the 5. Then they can have things is where you're going to have Noel at the 5, Randle at the floor. And then you could have Randle at the 5.
Definitely gives more versatility, no doubt. I agree with that. And ideally, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I prefer Randle to come off the bench.
And we all agree. The 4 of us agree, and even people in the chat agree. Idealistically, that would be a great situation for the Knicks. But you're asking a player who feels like he's the number one guy to take, to take a lesser role because you brought in a rookie.
Tibbs isn't going to give a shit what he feels. He'd be like, "You're coming off the bench. You don't like it? Okay, bye." Because Tibbs is one of them no nonsense coaches, and he's going to be like, "Look," he goes, "You don't like coming off the bench? Okay, bye. I'll let you know when you're traded."
I hope that's how it plays. How it plays out.
Because Tibbs is no nonsense coach. That's why they brought in.
We need that. We need a guy that's going to establish a pecking order, right? But still, you still talk to superstars or guys with that mindset.
Randle's not a superstar.
A certain way. I know, and I misspoke. I know he's not a superstar, but in terms of your best player, your highest paid player, you still talk to them differently. You treat them differently.
He's not your best player. He's your highest. He's your overpaid highest player.
Right. Well, yeah.
And so that's why they've realized, okay, he put up decent numbers because he was the number one option on a bad team. Any guys can put up great. You can get let me see if a guy on a bad team. You could get Caldwell Pope off the Lakers, and he could put up 20 and 7 with the Knicks. But you put him on a good team, he's getting you maybe 10 and 3, 10 and 4,
like he did with the Lakers.
Yeah, that's you put Caldwell Pope on this team, they give you 20 and 7. It's the production of a bad team. See, that's what I'm saying. You put Randle back on the Lakers, he'd be averaging same numbers like 10 and 7 rebounds or something. He's not crazy numbers.
I don't think because he played with Anthony Davis before. I think he still gets his 19 points because remember Anthony Davis prefers to play on the perimeter, so it's most likely that him and James are no rebounding.
Yeah, see the thing is if you get him with a stretch 5, that's why I brought up the option too, and people didn't like it about after we drafted Obi about trading Mitch to try and get a point guard and signing Christian Wood, and people ate me alive over it. And people were like, "Why would you?" I was like, "Mitch, you get Christian Wood at $15 million, he space the floor. You have Obi and you have Christian Wood space in the floor."
I agreed with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I stated that too.
Yeah. Well, the ideal situation would have been us trading Randle to Houston, and then us signing Christian Wood to that 3-year, $41 million deal. That'd have been the ideal situation where you can play him at
center. See, the thing is, I'd rather have Christian Wood even off the bench, or Obi and Christian Wood fighting it out, because the thing is you can play the two of them because Christian Wood plays defense and can shoot. See, that's the thing with me is I'd love to trade, like I love Mitch, but for the team wise, I'd have traded Mitch to someone, or even in the draft, to move up and get a point guard and knowing you've signed Christian Wood for $15 million, 3 years, 15. You play him at the 5, Obi at the 4, and you have 2 front court guys that can stretch the floor, and that opens up everything.
But is that really good in the East, where you got Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons?
Yeah, because Wood's 6'11", and he has averages over 2 blocks a game, 10 rebounds. He still puts up close enough to Mitch's numbers. It's not like he's a small, like he's 6'11". And he's a proper. He can play center, or he can play center or power forward. He's versatile. The same with Obi. Like you could put Obi at the thing when you get rid of Randle. You could have Obi play spot minutes at the 5 too, because he's 6'9", but he's long, and he's played a lot of center at Dayton.
You want to go small.
So you want to go small ball, because that's what a lot of teams are doing now in the playoffs. You've seen in the bubble going small ball.
The versatility.
Freezy,
what I would do.
That can shoot.
What I would do, one of the things I'm thinking about it in terms of what we have now, like we need to develop our youth, right? So, for example, RJ, I know RJ needs to get 30 plus minutes a game.
Uh-huh.
I know that. And see, Mitch is the variable because I don't know if he can stay out of foul trouble. But in a hypothetical, ideal situation, if he can, Mitch is going to get 30 minutes a game. I'm going to make sure that. And Obi too. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to get to Obi. I'm going to make sure that, for me personally, I'm going to make sure that Quickly gets at least 25 minutes a game.
I'm going to take Quickly at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure he gets at least 25 minutes a game. Quickly, I'm going to take a hard look at Miles Powell. Miles Powell, I would love coming off the bench. I'm going to take a hard look at him.
Yeah.
The dude, he lights it up. He's a spark plug off the bench.
He was picked to go, I think, mid-second round, and he went undrafted.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say a couple things. I gotta jump off, man, and I love it, man. I hate the fact I gotta jump off, but I got something going on real early in the morning. Yes, on a Sunday. Yes, I know. But the whole Miles Powell thing to me, and remember y'all heard it first. I think the Miles Powell thing is more so replacing Alonzo Trier. I think the Knicks. The only reason why Trier is gone is because some personality type things, and so they found the closest dude that they could in the draft or that was available to replace what he brought to the team. Also, tomorrow or tonight when we jump back on, I want to talk about the free agency misses, like the Knicks free agency misses, right? So I'm gonna put that out there so that we can get fired up and excited to have a conversation about that. Also, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Shay, thank you for coming through. That's what's up. Joe, appreciate you, big dog. Joe, be back tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Huh?
You all right?
Yeah,
hey,
I'll be back tomorrow. No, I'm here every night.
Okay. Hey, Jay Dales. Hey, you a pro at this, bro. Hey,
appreciate you, brother.
I expect you to start doing this thing right here on your own. Hey, shout out to everybody. Amani, I see you. Try Burrow. You know you my brother. Everybody else in the chat. I'm gonna jump off here. Thank everybody for coming through. This family is growing like wildfire. If y'all ever saw a brush fire just grow out of control, this is what this is. I even saw Sim jump on in this time slot, man, and we was still banging. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Y'all be peaceful in your endeavors. And I'll holler at y'all.
Buttons up, people.
All right. Good shit, y'all.
Peace. All right. Take it easy.